Hey, welcome everybody. We're back to Duskfall and another exciting episode of some Blades in the Dark with the Nene Valley Role Playing Society. We've got the entire crew here tonight. We've got a little bit of catch up to do on some downtime, but then we're going to jump into the score that they've already decided on and haven't told the one guy who has not been there. So that should be interesting in itself. So, just to frame it once again, we're in a fantasy world, a beautiful fantasy world of magic and happiness 1,000 years ago. And then things went wrong. Somehow, some way, the gates of death were thrown open. The world is thrown in turmoil. There's nothing alive except hidden behind lightning towers to keep the undead and dead away. And that's where our humanity lives in a now sort of a Victorian steampunk world where their technology and magic battles against what is on the outside. All of this is powered by Leviathan blood. So the city we're in is the Leviathan hunting capital, where the ships sail out into the starless sea and they go hunt these Leviathans for their blood to turn into electroplasm. Crazy, but a lot of fun. Also, the sun fell apart during this whole thing. So little fragments of it come up at dawn and set at dusk, leaving just the slightest twilight during what would be a day. So it's always fairly dark. So very interesting place, and I think you'll enjoy exploring this city with us. All right, here we go. So you see our characters here. Pete and Christine are finishing off some nachos, so they'll just be some voices here in a second. But I'll let them really quickly go around the horn. And since we've done this 3 or 4 times already, we'll keep it tight and just give us a quick thumbnail of your character. We'll start with Felix and work our way across. Felix, down at the bottom.
So my character is called Rekka. He's a leech, and he has a military medic background. He's good at blowing things up. He's good at prowling and good at wrecking things.
That he is. Do you want us to jump over you guys, Pete?
No, we can go.
Okay, Pete, you want to tell us about Twitch?
Yeah. So Steve, known as Twitch Booker. He's character sheet now. Oh, hang on, that's white. Still can't bring up character sheet. Anyway.
No problem.
Yeah. So he's basically a stealthy type. He's been around. He's a street rat of Duskfall. He's never left it in his life. He believes in low pleasures in low places.
Very good. What about Mara?
I play Mara Moon. She is a whisper, and she slinks nicely in shadows. She's doesn't draw a lot of attention to herself. Normally has her hood up, which hides the fact that she tends to wear sunglasses most of the time when you see her normally. That hides the fact that she's got these lovely silvery liquidy pool eyes that look as if they're looking through you when the sunglasses come down. She very often will be seen wandering around in her ghost mask, which is a sort of Japanese demon type image of horns and snarling teeth and blood red colours. So yeah, she's, when she wants to, she can be seen, but normally she'll hide in the shadows, disappear away.
Wonderful. So, Rob, let's hear about Set It.
Well, I mean, what do you need to know about Set It? Set It's young, attractive, absolutely phenomenal, looks the part, tight figure, clothing, tight figure, figuring. She's most men's go-to, and she's quite deadly with a knife.
That she is.
And you should see her pussy. It's fantastic.
Who
Although
she's
slightly scaly.
That's who
but
she's
yeah.
named after. Absolutely.
And my name comes after my my cat. Indeed.
John, tell us about the Brute.
What's to say? I'm here to make sure things get done the right way and everyone stays in line. Not these fine folks, of course, but anyone we might encounter. I've got the size to back it up too. Don't mess with me. All right.
Very, very good. All right. So with that said, we're going to sort of move over to where you guys can see we have Roll20 up here at the top of the screen. Our characters have been shuffled a little bit along the bottom. I apologize for that. It would have been nice to keep them in the exact same order, but I got really sloppy. You see the map of Duskfall right here in the middle, and when I click upon it, you'll see rings appear that show, hey, this is where I'm talking about something. And you'll also see that we have different pieces and parts that we can bring up over here on the side and make available to the players. Roll20 has done a great job working with the Blades in the Dark rule set to make this, and highly recommend it. Okay, with that said, how I'm going to sort of work our way into this, partially because we're reintroducing the Brute to what happened while he was off doing whatever he was doing in his downtime. I'm going to sort of mix it up for the fun of it and have you guys tell different people's what they did during downtime last time. So, Rob, I'd like you to tell what Wrecker did in his downtime. And if you can't remember, we'll work it together. It'll be sort of fun.
Wrecker? Do you want me to tell you what Wrecker did?
Yes, I do.
Well, as much as I love Wrecker to bits, what he gets up to is, I honestly don't know. I've got this fantasy. Would it be a fantasy? Yeah, no, I think this is my fantasy, right, of what I think Wrecker gets up to in his own time. So, a few times, some of the bedding has gone missing from off the ship, and I think Wrecker goes Greek, like old-fashioned Greek, toga. He goes to the nearest bar and he asks for the most toxic, alcoholic beverage that the man can get. Because, yeah, I mean, that man can drink. And I bet you, to a bottom dollar, there's going to be invasion of fig leaves, some grapes will be consumed, and I don't know, maybe a slip of the toga, whilst he's consuming the alcohol.
So, with that said, Felix, can you correct that to what did happen?
I went to a bar. I drank some beer.
So far, so good.
I drank some beer. I can't remember very well, actually. And I went behind the curtain to take a leak, and unfortunately, there were other people in there.
Yes.
And then I can't remember what happened after that. If we ended up in conflict.
So pretty much, you can see that his memory is spacey. So Wrecker, his particular vice is what?
Is pleasure of different. Yeah, it's just pleasure.
So he knocked himself out with drink at a nice bar. Made the mistake of going behind some curtains, thinking he was going to the Jakes, and instead it was a private booth. And he peed in there, and the people who were in there freaked out. He got kicked out, and therefore was cut off from going to that particular establishment. What that means for those that know the rules of the game, is he overindulged in his vice.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
And so that was his penalty, is he lost one of the places he could go.
I also trained, and I put an extra dot in prowl, so my prowl is a bit better.
So Mara, because I'm mean, I'd like you to describe Sedit's downtime and see how well you can do that generically without making all of the kiddies run away.
Well, I think I'm right in saying said it enjoyed herself quite a bit, I believe, and I think she spent a fair bit of time actually with a certain magistrate we know as well.
Ah, Nog.
Yeah, yes, Magistrate Nog, showing him the delights of her
Attentions?
personality.
Absolutely great personality.
Indeed.
And she managed to de-stress herself and complicate things with Magistrate Nog all in one. Very, very interesting setup. And then what I like then is this is so Pete. I left you to actually do Mara's, so let's have that.
Okay, so Mara was involved in a huge occult ceremony where she summoned mighty spirits to commune with. When the place was invaded by an army of demons who are opposed to the spiritualists.
That's probably how she told the story.
Yeah. So fighting, she fought the demons off, but then that attracted the interest of the Bluecoats. A huge running battle was carried out across the streets of Duskval, ending up in a rooftop battle with Bluecoats and demons.
So, Mara, do you want to clarify that at all?
I think that described it perfectly, to be honest.
So, everyone that hasn't seen last episode will probably want to go watch that because there are pieces you might miss. Wonderful. And then, so for Twitch, that's its own thing. And I don't know, does anyone remember Twitches that would like to jump in and do that? Because we're missing one to say his piece. Said it? Do you remember what Twitch did? Wrecker?
I'll tell you, it was so exciting.
Okay.
I seem to have just bypassed everything that Twitch did.
So this
Who is Twitch?
So this format
on the crew. Call Twitch. I mean, really. Sorry, Pete.
So this format of doing this is obviously not the best. I will modify such next time. With that said,
Pete,
Pete,
could be better though.
Why don't Pete you tell what you did during your downtime?
It was actually quite boring. So Twitch as a lurk, he kind of slunk off on his own thing, down to a dive at the docks, where he visited his favourite prostitute. One night was not enough to satisfy him, so he had to go back again the next.
Oh, that's right. There was a disturbance.
Yeah.
That's right.
So but he had a lot of stress to work off.
That he did. And with that understanding, what we're going to need to do is backplay and touch on what the Brute did during his particular downtime. So what I'm going to do is on Roll20, I'm going to bring up the downtime sheet. And what we're going to do is, number one, you don't have to worry about the payoff of the rep, John. Those guys took care of it. And I'll let them talk to you a little bit about the crew sheet in a minute. You don't have to worry about entanglements because that's happened as well. And they can talk about that. You don't have to worry about the heat. That heat has happened. We are in downtime. So in this downtime, actually what I'd like really quickly to do is, would you guys tell him what the heat of your crew is at this point? So he can update that on his. And also tell him what experience you guys are put on there.
Okay, so we've got 3 heat.
Three heat, 3 rep.
3 rep.
Do we have a 1 tier?
Yeah.
Are you 1 flag going towards a tier?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is, John, if you'll look at the Twitch feed, I'm going to bring up one of the other guy's characters. And that way, in fact, I'll bring up, like was said, I'll bring up Mara Moons. And her crew sheet is right here, John. If you want to see that on Twitch, you can see that the rep is now at 3. You can
I don't
see.
know where I see that on Twitch. How would I
it
Twitch
should
feed?
be. I'm sorry?
How would I look at the Twitch feed?
You're right. You'd have to have that open in another screen. So, GM of Wonders on Twitch. But you don't necessarily need to do that. I'll talk through that.
Okay, so I've already done my sheet. So
perfect.
I've added the rep, the heat.
Perfect. That's good enough because I don't think there was anything else on that particular piece.
Okay.
Then what we'll go back to. I'm sorry, to the downtime, where you have 2 actions you get to do. And if you see what they are, they're acquire asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, and indulge vice. So depending on your level of stress, you can indulge vice to try and bring down your stress. You can train to get some extra XP towards some stuff. You can recover to get treatment for any ailments you have, any wounds. You can set up a long-term project clock, and we can start clicking through that thing to see what happens. And then you can also acquire an asset that's used in the next score. Like a doctor or a special set of tools or you name it.
Tank.
Okay.
And while he's doing that, I'm going to try and bring open the the Blaze in the Dark to talk about player advancement for him. And we'll do that in just actually, John, let's do your player advancement. Sorry, everybody online that I'm jumping back and forth because it might influence what you do. Okay. So for where are we?
Where are we with coin as well? Have we spent it, or is this?
Nope. I'll let Mara or somebody tell you what the total is for the group. So, John, I think that you made a desperate action on when you were trying to lift a grate. If that was the case, I don't remember which of the actions you've used for that.
It wasn't a desperate action.
Okay, then we won't. Then there's no XP.
I just pushed myself to use my special ability.
Got it. So there's so that's not an XP trigger. So instead, we'll go through your playbook specific trigger. For a cutter, did you address a challenge with violence or coercion? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. So you will get 1 flag to put on either on your character sheet one of the particular traits, or you can put it on your play sheet that will give you a new special ability. Okay, and then did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background in some way? And feel free to try and sway me that you did.
No idea.
Okay. Did you struggle with any issues from your vice?
No, definitely
okay.
not.
So you got 1 XP, and you can put that on your character crew sheet in either above one of the traits or underneath the special abilities.
I've put it in my playbook advancement at this point. Yeah.
There you go. Playbook advancement. That's perfect. All right. So you did that. And so now you know when you train, you can see that you're not building towards that particular. You pick an attribute and do some training. And for your particular type of crew, I can't remember which of your attributes you get 2 for. One of the others can jump on their character sheet and tell me that, or you can yourself. And then, so you have the different actions. You have 2 of them, and you can decide what you'd like to do. You could attempt to lower their heat. It's not super high, but you could lower that some. You could try and get rid of any of the. I don't remember how much stress do you have, Brute?
I have enough that it's a concern, so I need to indulge my vice, I think.
I think you should. Wait, tell me about that. What's your vice?
Yeah, so my vice is the obligation I have to my sister.
Ah. Okay.
I have a tendency after a score, I have a tendency to seek her out, even if she doesn't always welcome my presence. But there's always problems that she's suffering and issues that she's having that I need to sort out. You know?
Okay. So here's what happens. When you find her, and this takes a while, she has been incarcerated in the local blue coat sort of district lockup. It serves as sort of a center for the folks in Brightstone, as well at where you do have some trouble with the blue coats. And she's been incarcerated for what you don't really know. You do know that the blue coat in charge of this is quite corrupt and is one of the ones that's a problem for you guys. And his name is Drake Marn, M-A-R-N. He's a blue coat captain for this sub-district inside Brightstone. And the way you find this out is through words from others that know your sister. Who do you think you talked to that would give you that lead?
No idea.
Okay. Well, what was she doing when she got picked up?
Well, that's a very good question.
Okay.
How comes the madam of the brothel allowed one of her girls to be picked up in such a way?
That's
She
interesting.
shouldn't be straying too far out the door, so the first person we're going to be having words with is going to be the madam.
Yep. Okay. So,
and by words, we mean words.
Very good. So here's what we're going to do is I'm going to jump
We're
over
on good terms, you see.
to items and vice purveyors here. And what I'm going to do is say that, okay, so Madame Teslin of the Red Lamp in Silk Shore.
Mm-hmm.
So you slip over to Silk Shore, cross those little canals with the little high bridges that let the gondolas through. You approach that. When you enter, you know that you already have heard that she's not there, and you see Madame Teslin. It is what there is of daytime. You know, it's very, very dusky, twilighty. It would be midday in a world with a real sun, and she's sitting behind the bar on a stool, and she's it looks like she's making little marks on the edges of her liquor bottles so that she can keep a measure of how much is in there and if anybody's messing with it. She's a Skovlander, which is unusual. A bit dumpy in her middle years with a very frizzy curly hair. Quite blonde with some silver in it. She sees you come in, stands up. Drink? Oh, Brute. She's not here.
So I heard.
And before you think
Ruby,
anything,
my darling, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, and it's not my fault.
Well, I'm glad you got that in there nice and quickly. Tell me whose fault it is.
Absolutely will. She's picked herself up. She's picked herself up a regular.
Plenty of those about. What's this one's name?
Thalen.
How did you not keep her safe here?
I didn't know what was going on behind the closed door. Old
Time to
Thalen,
share it, you know.
I will. From what we can tell, this student from the academy goes by Thalen Jones. Has been wooing her for a bit. And by wooing, I mean giving her spark.
Oof.
And unfortunately,
That
when he
boy's
didn't,
going to get a surprise. Tell me more about this Jones.
so when he didn't show up for several weeks because it's exam time, she needed her spark.
Yeah.
That's when she snuck out of the place and got nabbed.
Where did she get pinched?
I think it was
No?
over. I think she was pinched in Night Market, but we don't know for sure. But she's definitely over in Brightstone in the the South Subdistrict's lockup.
Yeah. Why would you go to Night Market to school? She could have spoken to me. I'd have scored for her, no problem. They wouldn't have been picking me up.
So, what do you do?
Ruby, I need you to promise me something.
She
When my
leans.
girl gets back here,
Yeah, she leans back.
dry her out, won't you?
Will do. Will do.
Yeah. She should be fairly dried out by the time she gets back. Anyway. But once she's back here, keep her safe, dry her out. And should this Jones boy ever turn back up, just make sure he knows who our brother is.
You want a word passed?
Well, put it this way, I'm going to find out who the boy is and I'm going to have a little chat with him anyway. But that comes later. First things first, I've got a Springer.
Good luck. Okay.
Thank you, Ruby.
So you head off to Brightstone, I assume. And by now it's the end of the day. You see the couple of fragments of the sun starting to dip below the horizon. The moon is doing its strange thing again, where it looks like it's reflected in prisms. There are three, one large and two small, that are drifting just above the horizon. And of course, Brightstone itself is much nicer of an area. The people here like you guys for some reason. And in fact, when I say that, I'm going to go ahead and on roll 20 move down to you guys' sheet. And for those that are watching, you can see that this is how I do that. And you can see this is their sheet where the citizens of Brightstone actually like them. You can see there. They also have some clocks that are going. Okay. So you are in the sub-district right now. You can see that the sub-district blue coat holding cell / office is a single-story building. There's a couple of desks in front. There's a cage behind, and there are 3 blue coats inside. One of them is a very big man, comparable to you, almost.
All right, so I'm just going to casually walk past.
Okay.
Sort of with the citizenry and take a look inside.
There's only one person in the cell. It's your sister.
Right. Okay.
She does clock you.
That's fine. I don't acknowledge her her presence, my presence. That I've seen her, but I just walk past. Are there any windows in the back? What's between the back and sides of the cage and the exterior of the building?
So it looks like the cage is freestanding. It could be lifted off the floor if it's not riveted down. It does have a door in it that faces to where the blue coats are, but there are bars on all 4 sides, and it sits on the floor. Looks fairly heavy. But you don't see how it's fastened to the floor immediately. And having been in such a cell before, you know that sometimes they just rely on those being heavy.
Okay. Which always works so well for me.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So, a little bit of time to put together a minor caper here. What I'm going to do
Okay.
is I'm going to find some street kids.
Okay.
And then I'm going to find something just opposite the door, an area of the street. And I'm going to get the street kids in. I'm going to give them
some coins.
Not a coin as in a whole bag of coins, but
understand.
like
some silver
just
pennies. Absolutely.
And what I'm going to do is we're going to start a fire just down an alley.
Okay.
All right. And once the fire is burning and burning well, and I'm going to get them basically to stoke it and get it going, I'm going to get one of them to run into the Blue Kite office and yell, "Help! My friend's stuck."
So fire. To do this entire piece, what I'd like is a roll, and I don't care what it is. You tell me which one you want to roll against this to make this try and work.
So this is going to be a command roll.
Got it. Okay.
This is going to be issuing some instructions to these street kids. They'll be handsomely rewarded, but they probably don't want to mess with me. Getting on the wrong side of me is never a good thing in general. So I can be helpful to them again in the future. They probably don't want me to not be.
Okay.
To be on the wrong side of me in future.
So
I'm a useful ally. I pay well. I look after my own and look after my allies.
I'll say this is so I'm torn between making this controlled because of how well you're doing on it, and risky because if you do screw this up, you know you're dealing with the blue coats who you already have problems with. So I'm going to go with risky as far as your position, and then I'm going to say that it's going to be a standard effect and that they will do exactly what you say, and we'll see how the blue coats react.
So all I really want to do, obviously, is get as many of the blue coats out of there as I possibly can.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping they all leave.
Yep.
And then the idea is I'm going to stand in the gaggle bar. I'm going to stand round the corner from the building, just kind of on the edge of the building as they all head out and rush out to have a look at what's going on. I'm literally just going to nip round the corner, yank the thing off, and grab my sister and run.
So
it really is the simplest. It is the simplest of simple plans.
So let's roll them bones now.
All right.
You can take some more stress to to improve that roll, or I could offer you a devil's bargain if you're interested.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a risky, did you say? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Standard effect.
It's going to be standard.
Let's see this.
All right. Let's see what we get. One. No, that's not right. That can't be right.
How many are you supposed to roll?
Should be 2 dice.
Okay.
Well, got 2 dots, not 1.
Yeah, do it again, and let's see what happened there, because that would be ridiculously unfortunate this early in the game.
Yeah, but that's all right. I've got 2 dots. Why have I got 2 dots and it's only rolled the 1?
Can you see the dice? Because I can't.
I did.
Yeah, I can see the dice, but
let me find. I'm looking up your character sheet as well, and I heard 2 dice that time at least.
No, same again, but so I got 3 again. So no, failed. That didn't work.
Did you see? I mean, did it come up in the? Yeah,
but it came up as a single dice. So I don't know.
Just a minute. Okay, well,
definitely got 2 dots in there. You know.
Yeah, I know. That is interesting.
Just try something else.
Okay.
It's not on my screen. You can't see.
There's
what
that.
You
so that one works, but the other one doesn't. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that is really strange.
Let me just try it once more. I'm just trying things here, guys.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Obviously, I failed. There you go. It's now working.
Okay.
So I took it off and put it back on again, and it now works.
Okay.
Anyway,
well, what?
I failed. So
yeah, fair enough. So here's what happens. When you fail, you fail. You see the kids. They take your silver and they look at you. They look at each other, and they say, "Okay." And they do this little thing where they sort of shake their fists in the middle, and each of them pokes out like a finger or two or something, and one of the kids goes, "Dang it!" And then they split like rats going in all different directions with your coins. And one of them, the one who said, "Dang it," is sprinting directly towards the Blue Coat office to tell on you. You can take an action if you would like.
No.
Okay. So he runs in and says, well, you don't hear it exactly, but you can definitely.
I'm around the corner. I'm listening.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can slightly hear. You hear, hey, this man was trying to pay us to set a fire. He's right outside. Well, guess what? The effect is sort of the same. You see the large man and one of the others step out, and he leads them over the direction of where you were standing with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
There is one left inside.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to literally charge around the corner. There is no conversation. I'm literally just going to run into this guy and smack him as hard as I possibly can in the face.
Make that roll.
I'm just going to punch him as hard as possible to lay him out.
Wonderful.
That's all I'm going to do.
Make the roll.
Okay.
You tell me what you're doing, and I'll tell you the situation. Of course, it's risky.
Yeah.
It'll have standard
risky.
effect.
Okay, it's a straightforward skirmish. I'm just going to go up and.
Yep, absolutely.
Meaty fist in the face. That's all it is.
Wonderful.
All right. Standard effect.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see that 6. Let's see that 6. That's 4. So you do exactly what you said. You hit him. His chair. I mean, you hit him just like broad right in the sort of the eye orbit / top of the nose, forehead with your big fist, and the whole chair just immediately topples backwards onto the floor. And he's going, "Oh!" holding his face, and there's a lot of blood.
Fingers underneath the thing.
Okay.
Underneath the bars of the cage,
mm-hmm.
and super extreme. I'm going to use my my special ability just to tear the thing up and fling it.
Absolutely. So sadly,
because I'm not to be trifled with.
The roof is not on fire, but it is too low for you to lift it all the way up. You can push until it hits the top, and there's a 2-foot gap beneath. Your sister scrambles right out immediately.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now I'm going to ask for a roll to get away, and I want to see what this is. And the new clock you just got is the guy that's in there. Put your face with the person who assaulted.
I am going to create distraction and chaos. So this is a wreck as we leave.
Okay.
And so the idea here is as we leave, I'm trying to fling some things in various different directions. So basically create chaos in the street. And the idea is that people on the street, just get them to sort of mill around and block the blue coats from being able to follow us. And then what we'll do is we'll dodge down an alley and then out and round.
Okay.
Risky, controlled, desperate, or fortune.
It's going to be, you know what? It's risky. The other guys are still across the street, and it'll be
the effect
standard effect.
Standard. Okay. Let's do it. It's a 5.
5. Okay. So that's a success with a consequence. So what we're going to do is right here on this clock, I'm going to So as you leave, the two turn around and they can see you running off, and they get your silhouette size as you're running off with the girl.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
And they may or may not know her or have interrogated and know her. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay. So that's your first one. Let's roll your roll to see what stress you take away. So you roll a dice based on
Your lowest.
Your
Now, I actually
lowest.
rolled that at the start, which was the insight roll, but I'll make it again if you want.
Yeah. Let's. Oh, did you already roll it?
Yeah, but
if it was great, we'll keep it. If not, let's roll it again.
it was a 6, which is 2 over what I needed. So
so let's. I'll let you roll again just to be nice, and we'll see if that's actually much worse or fine. Look at that.
3.
Look at that. We'll take that. All right. So you have one more action for your downtime as everybody else waits patiently. Any of you guys have any advice for him on what you'd like him to see him do?
Yeah, don't fuck up the blue coats.
Yeah, I think I'd like to reduce the heat if I can do. How do we do that?
Okay, so pretty much you tell me. So what you're going to wind up doing is you'll talk to me about how you decide to reduce the heat, whether that's going around knocking some heads to say don't talk about stuff, whether it's spreading rumors about different things that could be other groups that have done some of the jobs. I don't care. You tell me, and then we'll roll one 6-sided dice, and according to the result, actually reduce heat. Is it one dice or is it multiple? I think it's one dice, and then we'll see. No, it's got to be more than one dice. Okay, I don't know how to decide how many dice he rolls to reduce heat. Does anyone know?
You make an action roll.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe you consult with your friend who's a blue coat. She arranges for a funeral and watch
okay.
disappear, or maybe you command the fear of the local citizens.
There you go. Okay, so as I was saying, tell me what you do, and we'll make a roll, and you can see that your failures is actually not a failure. It's just going to be that you only take one heat away, right? So this is not a really bad one.
No. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just checking something. So where is it that we have got we've got a bit of a dislike?
So, well, let's take a look at that.
It's on faction mode.
So
yeah, I got it.
You got that, and I have put a couple of things up on the sheet that I've got up on Roll20 right now. You'll see that the foundation is a little bit upset, and they're trying to figure out who you guys are that broke into what they had built as a impregnable entry to the rail yard, and so they've taken a hit to their reputation. The Lamp Blacks have not yet figured out, and that's going to be another clock probably at some point, that they had a particular get the name. Sorry. Vivienne. They were sent to take her golden key, and you guys took that and made them look like fools, but they don't know it was you yet. So you can see that's them up here. And then the blue coats, of course. Yes.
So this Phelan Jones, who's the student at the academy.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast around a little bit and find out a little bit about him and about his family.
Okay.
Is his family local, and are they wealthy? Because a lot of those academy boys are from wealthy families.
Quite. So let's see here. So what you find out, and let me take 1 second to make sure I say the right thing and not mislead anybody. And I'll do it this way. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. One second. Okay. So some of the best educators in the Empire are found at Dustfall, from the high-walled towers of the Dustfall Academy to the stuffy classrooms of Charter Hall University. However, Dustfall Academy is principally renowned for its services to the Church of Ecstasy of the Flesh, and the Academy campus is in white ground. It's broken into 3 colleges, each a pillar of understanding, representing the body, mind, and soul. The College of Imperial Science, the College of Naval Command, and the College of Immortal Studies. Young Thielen Jones is in the, he happens to go to the College of Naval Command. And his family, the Joneses, some people try to keep up with them, are in, actually live in the edge of Silk Towers right towards Brightstone. They are a formerly wealthy family on hard times who would love to be able to make the jump back into Brightstone, but are not doing so well. Young Thalen Jones has a brother who is already serving in the Navy, and there's hope that he will bring glory and honor to their family, as well as maybe Thelen when he grows. But he is the second son, and that is the extent of that family.
Right. So, I scope out their accommodation for a couple of days, and I watch the comings and goings of the family members.
Okay, and you don't see Thelen except on the last days of the week, where he will come and visit his family for one overnight. You notice he brings a large bag full of probably dirty laundry from university.
I'm not looking for him. I'm looking for his mother.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if I can establish a little bit around her patterns and her habits.
So,
and once I've done that, does she have a tea shop that she frequents, or somewhere of that, perhaps a favorite boutique that she calls into regularly?
Yes, something she does.
Where so there could be some.
She goes with a maid down through 6 Towers into the far edge of Night Market, just off the canal. And they're somewhere right about, let me get my correct symbol here, somewhere right in here that has a terraced view of the water. She likes to sit on the second floor watching the lights of the ships move down the canal, and has some hibiscus tea. And hibiscus are very rare, so it's a very expensive deal. There's the little vice she's got.
Watching this happen, and what I do is I have a little chat with the waiting staff in the establishment.
Okay.
Just to create a little bit of rapport, and then the next time that she does it, I watch her climb up and sit in her place. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm a big guy, and she sits on an outside terrace. Would that be right?
Yes.
On a first story. Okay, I just shin up onto the terrace without her, trying to get her not to notice, and then I just ghost over, because the thing is, I'm big, but I'm very quiet for a big fella. Okay. And what I do is I just ghost over, and then there's this. She looks up for this sort of creaking sound for the chair, as this enormous man lowers himself into the chair in front of her. And just tips his cap at her.
I'm calling for a roll, and this roll is going to include the stalking, the rapport with the people in the tea shop, and the sneak and the actual movement there. So whatever you choose to go after that, I'm perfectly fine, and we'll make a roll and see what happens.
Well, it's that thing about people not noticing me, so it's going to have to be command at this point, isn't it?
Okay, so largely this is about your presence as you deal with the people there in the tea shop, so that when you make your move, a lot of backs are turned. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Do you
So we're
want to
risky?
take any stress? It is actually it is risky because it can be embarrassing and it could cause problems. And but it's going to be
Not taking any stress or anything else. No, not burning any extra
okay.
dice.
If you knock this out, this is going to be great effect.
Nope, failed.
Okay. So one of the tenets of this game is not to make the players ever look incompetent. So making this fail without making you look incompetent is going to be interesting. So you don't fail climbing and fall into the water, and you don't fail in sort of talking through everything with the people there and make a fool of yourself. You're such a big
She
fella.
screams loudly and runs away, right?
There when you come over the edge, it's that her maid drops her parasol, pulls the handle, and has a short stabbing sword. And she makes a stab to your face. What do you do?
Take a very deep breath. And I've dodged, obviously, the first thing I do is I dodge it. Take a very deep breath. And I say to her in very clearly, I'm not here to hurt no one, least of all you. I just want to talk. Now put it down.
So if you fail this roll, she will stab you in the face for a level 2 sliced cheek and torn eye socket or something horrible. So let us know how this roll goes, and this is sort of important. There it is. Well done. Okay, so she misses as you dodge aside, and then hesitates and stands still to hear what you have to say.
Thank you. Madam, I apologise for the nature of this interruption, but
Are you
there was some
climbing? Are you
information
climbing
that I
over the
thought
railing? Are you climbing over the railing as you're talking?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm halfway over the railing when she tries to stab me, and I have to dodge out of the way, and then I climb over the railing, and then I walk over and I do a bit of a Riker in that my leg comes over the back of the chair, and I lower myself into the chair, and now I've got the maid behind me with her sword out, and I've put my back to her, so that hopefully the idea at this point is that she shouldn't stab me in the back. But I'm showing her that I'm not a threat.
Okay.
I'm demonstrating that lack of threat, but I am listening very carefully to the
so
possible singing of a blade behind me.
So state your piece.
I know I'm taking a risk.
Absolutely.
I look this woman in the eye, I look the mother in the eye, and I say, I have some information about your son, the younger. Thought I might need to pass it on, and perhaps you might like to consider a way of responding to it.
She pulls a silk handkerchief to her mouth and shocked. She's listening, though.
I get it, madam. These are hard times for you. They're hard times for all of us. But here's the thing. Your son supplied a bit too much sparkle to my sister. Got her hooked. Got her in trouble with the Bluecoats. Now, I'd like that trouble to go away, and I think that perhaps you, through direct action or perhaps through your husband, might like to have a little word with certain members of the Bluecoat fraternity to get them to calm down on this particular thing. Calm down, particularly on me. You know, realise the mistake that they've made.
Brilliant.
And here's the thing, Matt. My friends, I keep them close and I look after them. I look out for them. And I think that you and I, we could be friends. Your son, I don't think so. But you, your husband, and perhaps your older son, when he's back, you know, when he's bringing home the bacon and he's helping you climb that little ladder again, well, I think, you know, someone like me can be quite useful to put someone like you in those circumstances. You understand what I'm saying?
Wonderful. So let's make your roll for heat. Well done.
Okay. Oh no, hang on. That's not right. We don't just I rolled a D65. That's completely just ignore that.
Cool.
Okay, so this is command. I need to roll command, don't
Let's see it.
I? Let's have a look. Okay. It's control, it's standard.
Yep,
I'm just
yep.
gonna roll.
Absolutely.
And I got 5.
Okay, so you take 2 heat off of the team. Well done. Everybody, you can adjust your crew sheets accordingly. And then we're going to take a 3 or 4 minute break for some of us to go pee, and then we're going to get back and we're going to hit this. All right. Thank you guys for waiting through John's downtime. I thought that was a lot of fun, actually. I hope that you enjoyed listening to it and seeing how he dealt with things. All right, I'm putting us on break. We'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes. Hey guys, I'm back, and just give me some thumbs up when you guys are all ready.
I never left. I emptied my catheter before we started.
We should have all cathetered before we started.
Definitely, dude. It's way of the future. I can't wait until they bring in the Wi-Fi version.
Nice.
Ah, dear. Yeah, I know what I'm going to buy you for your birthday, Anthony.
What? A beard groomer?
A beard comb. A beard comb.
It's out of control right now. It needs another good trim. Yeah, John, you'd have enjoyed last session as well, where everybody did their downtime. I don't know if you got to see any of it. Well, that's cool, Felix.
Yeah, very retro.
Like it. There's Pete back. All right, so do we have the gang all together? You're muted, Pete. There you are.
Just wait on Christy.
No problem. No problem. Just give me a thumbs up when she comes back, and we'll get it going.
Felix.
Yep.
Your background display, does it actually put the blue bar at the top? And is this supposed to be like a Windows kind of paint type job, or?
That's cool.
It does look like it. It does look like it, doesn't it? On the right, I can see there's a. I don't know. I randomly chose something. You can go to extra choices.
So you're trying to say you're an artiste of some sort, yeah?
I think that's where he's going.
With MS Paint.
I randomly chose it, and I thought actually it looks quite atmospheric for the game. But
It does. It looks very good. Especially with the bars on the windows.
John's is quite good. John looks like he's doing a Hamlet play or something. Because it's blacked out. Everything's blacked out other than his face. It's like, I don't know.
I think you just turned the lights off.
Yeah.
That's literally what I did. I turned the lights off.
But your
So
light
the only thing you've got on is the lights from the monitors shining my face. So I'm lit by the monitors.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. Here we go, guys.
Queen video.
Ready? Hey, welcome back from our short break. We finished the downtime for the Brute, and very interesting things happened as he was trying to take care of his sister. He managed to burn off a decent amount of stress as well as take heat off of his team. So 2 big successes in a fairly risky situation. All right, we're back to us all here at in Roll20, and we are sitting, and what I'll show you is they have a boat right at the end of this pier, right there. And this particular barge has curtains usually pulled up quite well because they're worried that someone might see that on board is a sex worker who they broke out of a indentured servitude by the name of Vivienne, a Taikorosi with a peacock tail, which is evidently exotic and interesting. And they still have her and can't quite figure out what to do. And they have a problem. And I'd like them sitting around this table as Vivienne is cooking again, as she seems to somehow really enjoy that. Maybe that's something she could do sometime in the future. But she's cooking. And what I'll ask is, up front, Twitch looks like he may have had a hit of spark because he is so excited to tell the Brute about what's going on. There you go, Pete.
Do I know this?
Well, you guys sort of came up with an idea. You found out that someone had been taken, and you found out that and you guys actually came up with what you wanted for your next score. Do you remember that? If not, I can jump in.
I think you'll have to jump in because
No
I
problem.
remember there was something, but I can't remember the details.
Absolutely. So what I'll do really quickly, so I don't mess this up, I want to get the right name, and so I'm going to bring up. I think it's John's character sheet, because that's where I get the character's name. So we learned that. Oh no, it's not, because it was not Grace. It was. Who's got the spy as their?
Yeah, it was,
That would be me,
right,
darling.
She'd been taken. And,
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So do
And we're
you
going
want
to free her.
So Rob, you want to explain that?
It was Grace, the contortionist.
It was not Grace. It was actually. I had to correct myself.
Valeris.
It was Valeris. So Valeris, who brought you the information on the score for the where you guys rescued Vivienne, her employer has taken her captive in hope that he can draw out and bring whoever has taken this golden key and Vivienne so he can have them. And the team seemed to think that the next score should probably be to go rescue her, Valeris, and somehow humiliate this Lord Delvar. So with that said, does anyone want to do any information gathering before we start? Tell me how. We'll roll some dice and I'll give you the information.
Yeah, so it was Lord Delvar, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we know that Valeris is in his premises in White
Yes.
Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first things first. I'm going to close the curtains in the barge,
Okay.
and I'm going to tell Vivienne, don't open them, don't open again, because otherwise, said it's going to find your tail feathers and use them as tickle sticks. Okay.
And where is Set It at the moment?
Watching Vivienne.
Gotcha. So
Just sat watching
this,
Vivienne. Everything that she puts in the food, everything that she does, wherever she goes, Set It goes.
So Set It, for those who don't know, is a Labrador-sized cat-like creature covered with scales that is the dear pet of the person who goes by Set It, because everyone's heard her say that name over and over.
So, Anthony.
Yes.
Is it possible to sort of do a bit where I gathered information or Lurk gathered information before this? So sort of a combination of a roll and a flashback.
So how far back are you going? Because if not, this is just all in this time. This before we go into the actual. We go into.
Oh, no. So basically, I wanted Twitch to prowl around Lord Delvar's estate to see if he can gather any information about where she might be held, what the defenses are, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So, what type of role are you making for this?
Well, I'm going to make a prowl roll, but
I'm going to be helping along with that as well, I think.
Absolutely. So you guys can do that.
I'm going to make a study roll, basically. I'm looking into his...
So each of you have a question you're trying to get. And so when you make your roll will give you the type of information. If it's a failure, you'll get limited information. If it's a 4 or 5, you'll get standard information. If it's 6, I'll give you extra information. Okay? So that's how it works for a gather information roll.
Right. So what's the position?
No. So okay, yeah. So we'll call this. No, these are going to be controlled. You guys are
Yeah.
being careful. You're doing what you're doing. Unless you say you're doing something that's fairly risky, we'll keep it at standard, and well, controlled and standard. Okay. So you get who rolled?
That was Twitch.
Okay. So what was your question,
Mm.
Twitch?
I was looking to see if we could find out where Lord Delvar is keeping her.
Ah. So
Eris, yeah.
you can observe from the outside.
Yeah.
This is and we'll keep that one on the screen so we can talk that one because that's a 5 as well. You can see it's a multi-story building. You're thinking it's 3 floors with possibly an attic. It has a portion that sticks out over the water that is 3 floors, and it has a pillar going down into the water off the edge of Brightstone into the one of the canals, and we'll say it's this thinner canal right over here. And it also has a private steam tram stop. There is a raised steam tram that runs from White Crown into Brightstone, and there are some lines that run into Chart Hall and Six Towers that some of them are disused, some of them are not. This is a raised thing, and he has a private stop for this tram. And you don't see a lot of trams go by, but from time to time, one will come steaming by, uh, just hissing and spewing smoke. It looks like they still run on coal and have not transitioned over to electroplasm completely. There are, and you see that there's also towards the water. There's an entrance. It looks like for maybe ships for small boats in and out. You can see there's several footmen standing around, and they're armed. Some of them have a bracer of pistols across their chest. Some of them have sabers, and you can see that they all are sort of wearing a reddish. So everything's dark. So color is often difficult in this town. So the deep maroon of this would only really show up in proper lighting. But so it's a dark color with a white sash that tends to hold their weapon, and they have a flat bill cap um, on their heads with a starburst with a D in the middle of it for probably Delvar. And you can see that there are lights on through the building. How would you get to the question of where in that building she was? I was just wondering how you got there.
So probably try and basically get close enough to these footmen to listen to their talking, because gossiping, just chatting about what's going on. Hopefully, gather some information that way.
Okay, so you're just trying to hear the gossiping and stuff of some of the maybe the. You do see. I mean, your role was really pretty darn good. You see that there are a number of laundresses that come out about 4 hours, 4 p.m. you would call it, and they cross from Brightstone and go over into the docks to a tea room over there that is quite seedy. Listening in on them, they say that on the top floor, you hear that there's a new guest that they're supposed to be treating well. They don't really know who this person is, but no one's seen them. And that's what I'll give you out of that. Okay? So, Mara,
Right.
what do we get from you?
Well, I must admit, we got pretty much most of what I was hoping to gather as well from.
Okay, well, if you've got a separate question, let me know what it is, and we can do that.
I want to know when Lord Delvar is going to be away from the estate.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yes, I'm going to be looking more into the numbers of his servants and his guards and his general day-to-day habits, where he tends to be, where he tends to,
Okay.
what times he's away from the estate, when he's at the estate, what's the good times, bad times to sort of.
And so you got a 5. And so you get
Yep.
the standard level of information on that. So you can tell that he is out of the building most of the day. Some nights he's out, though that doesn't appear to be a standard pattern. He does get numerous invitations to parties. And you think maybe if you sort of follow that line, you might be able to guess when is a time he is out. And what I'll do on that is when we start, I'm going to have a luck roll to see if you were correct on the night that he's out. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So what we'll wind up doing then is anyone else doing a gather information before we get started?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Go ahead. Tell me what your question is, and then make your roll, and then we'll talk about how you do it.
So I'm doing a prowl, and I'm going to prowl around his residence.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm looking specifically for areas of weakness
Okay.
that I could use to wreck.
You're
one
looking
way
for
or the
that.
other.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
I'm thinking of gaining access or exit or creating a. I'm also looking for creating the maximum damage, to create the maximum embarrassment, that kind of thing.
okay. So what I'll tell you in your prowl, and we'll see what your roll is first to see what we tell you.
So do you want me to roll then? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely is controlled, standard. Just let's see what comes up here.
Is this risky or not?
It is controlled.
It's controlled. Okay.
Okay, so you rolled a 6. So not only do you get basic information, you get a lot of information. You think that that the locks on the entrances to the waterways are simple. You think that the front door may have something going on with it that's trap like. If you aren't the right person, you're not sure how that works. And you also think that if you were to blow the column that's out in the canal, it would drop a third of this building or more.
That's good stuff to know. Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, is that good? All right.
Yep.
Okay, set it. What's your question?
That Drake Marn, the blue coat captain, is that common knowledge, or was that just for the brute?
So I'll let the brute say if he told you. Did you mention this, brute, to the team?
Absolutely, 100%. Think it's vitally important that any information that I gather, I pass on to the team. Always.
Okay. So with that,
very upfront with every piece of information that I get. There's no such thing as a secret.
Very good.
So what I want to do is I want to go in at Brightstone. Okay. Primarily.
So what's your question?
Right. So my question is, okay. Well, actually, I've got 2 questions, if that's allowed.
Well, we'll see how this works.
So
okay.
My first question is, I wanted to scout around Brightstone and see what the gossip is in the ladies' tea rooms, with reference to the next event that Lord Delvar is going to be going to.
Okay.
Which has been confirmed,
as best as possible.
So, yeah. So that's the first thing. Now I'm going to use to do that. I think it would be possibly a hunt. I don't know. Gather information about its
I'm perfectly
location and
fine.
movements.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
So I would use the hunt on that. The second thing that I'd like to do is also, whilst I'm inquiring or listening for that information, is to find out if anyone knows where the Blue Coat Captain for Brightstone resides, what part of town that is, or what part of Brightstone it is.
Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll treat this as a question that if you get high enough, you'll get the second piece. If you just get standard, you're going to get the information on Lord Delvar. Fair enough?
Okay. So is it risky, controlled?
It is, well, on this it really isn't, but since we have to do it for the game, just do as controlled and as a standard effect, and let's see what your roll is. Oh, look at that. Wow. So we'll just spill it all out. So Drake Morn lives in Char Hollow.
Okay.
In a tenement house that he has put on some airs. He's purchased sort of a one floor of it, and he lords it over the locals who resent him. And you find that Lord Delvar will be out at this end of week for a planning session for what is something called the Nameless Exhibition. And he will be meeting with someone called Lord Skurlock, who sponsors this. It evidently takes place somewhere in Six Towers and is an exclusive event for the wealthy and the mighty, and it's all sorts of amazing things. The Nameless Exhibition. But he's going to be in a planning session for this year's Nameless Exhibition at the end of this week.
Lord
Skurlock, who is a faction in himself.
Okay. Do I know what faction?
Yeah, Lord Skurlock. Skurlock. An ancient noble said to be immortal. Like the Emperor, maybe. Obsessed with arcane
I can't
secrets.
see that faction.
So if you can see where my cursor, you can't see where my cursor is, can you? You could on.
Yes, I can see where your cursor is.
So right there, Lord Skurlock. Ancient noble said to be immortal, like the Emperor.
Right, so it's on there, but it's not on the factions of Duskull of the. Oh no, there it is. Yes, it is.
There he is.
Found him now. It's Underworld.
Yep.
Okay, so he's somebody that we could really do with having on our side, especially from the Underworld.
So you know that Lord Delvar is meeting with him to iron out the details of the Nameless Exhibition for this year.
Okay.
And that the invitations will go out within the next week or so.
Okay. So after I've done, obviously I go back to the barge. Are the curtains drawn?
You know what? They are. And you can see the light behind, and there's obviously someone moving around inside. It could be your imagination. It could be your worry. But you could almost imagine the outline of the peacock tail in the shadow, but you're not sure.
Okay. I don't know what distance my ability with Sedic goes because he doesn't say.
Then let's just say that you've got it right now.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Said It, is everything okay?
You get, as Set It often does when Set It doesn't choose to use words. Set It doesn't like words. Set It likes impressions. You can force Set It to tell you words, but Set It just gives you a warm, meaty, gravy feel that you take as a very positive.
She's feeding you, isn't she?
And
oh my God! I think to Said It.
You can hear.
You
can almost hear the purr. Set It is being wooed. Okay, we've had our
traitor
quick looks for the information we want, and so what I'm going to wind up asking you now, as we do in this game, is to get over here. Is what are you going to do as far as this particular score? Is this an assault, which is to do violence to the target? Is this a deception, lure, trick, or manipulate? Is this a stealth, trespass unseen? Is there something occult? Are you engaging a supernatural power? Is this a social event where you're negotiating, bargaining, persuading? Or is this a transport, carry cargo or people through danger? So for each of those, there's a question you will answer before you make this roll. Okay.
Somewhere between a stealth or a transport.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys discuss real quick, and then tell me which one.
What would be good would be to cause some damage, from my perspective, but also an embarrassment of some description, which means that he'll never want to openly abduct a prostitute again.
Okay.
So something a bit Ocean's 11-y, where we kind of totally embarrass him.
Okay.
So Rekka, I've already put in place a rumor around Brightstone that Lord Delvar had a problem with his Barnet. Okay.
With his what? With his what?
With his hair.
With his hair.
Okay. Oh, you did.
With his hair.
I do remember that.
I did. Okay. So maybe if would you be able to make a tonic or a cream that we can switch on over so that when we go in, because he's got an event coming up in a couple of weeks. If we could really screw his hair over by that time,
we could slip him something.
Okay.
Slip him something.
So once again, is this an assault, a deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport?
It would be stealth, I would say.
A stealthy assault.
A stealthy assault.
Yeah.
You gotta pick one.
Shampoo to turn his hair spiky.
You gotta pick one. How are we gonna do this? Are you
stealth?
So
I would go stealth, but that's just
it
me.
It would have to be stealth because if we
okay.
We want him to use shampoo, he
can't know that we've been there. So
the detail for stealth is what is the point of infiltration? Okay.
The coal chute.
Okay. So the coal chute will put you into the basement of this building. Is that you guys' intention?
Or we go through the back door and hope that the guards, all the guards, have gone with him.
I'm happy with the coal chute. That's a good way.
But then you can see we can then clamber up the laundry chute.
One of the nice things about the coal chute is since most people don't use coal anymore, they tend to not they're fairly disused. But if it's still there, you might be able to get into that thing and slip in.
Yeah, there might be like a dump
so
waiters.
that's your answer. So my next question is, what is you guys' loadout? Okay.
I'm going light.
Light. Okay. So everybody.
I'm going on a heavy biryani, and I'm going to.
So everybody, let me know what you're doing for your loadout. Let's work around.
I'm going to go normal.
Normal.
I'm going
very good.
I'm going in heavy.
Okay. So that may dictate what time of day you go in. Go ahead. So, Bugs, how are you
Okay.
going in?
So, well, I don't know what the differences are between them.
So it's how many things you check off on your sheet for things you're carrying. So if you look at your character sheet, well, you see the load is right under Hound. 3 is for light, 5 is normal, 6 is heavy. So you had all the stuff in gray you can carry without any load. Okay. However, everything below that in the list costs you against your load. Got it?
Okay, so I would be on. I'm going to take some daggers,
No,
burglary
no, no,
gear.
no, no, no. You don't tell me that. You don't tell me that. What's your load?
Oh,
Is it light,
okay.
normal, or heavy? You choose it as you go. It's the beauty of the game. It's all in this pre-planning that's not talked about. It's watching.
Normal.
It's watching Ocean's 11 and seeing all the flashbacks and seeing how they did things. So you take it a normal. So normal is so 3 is like you're walking into a place in a social event and no one's going to know that you're there for anything. Normal is you probably have a backpack, maybe a weapon showing a little bit. Heavy is your like a armor, a couple of weapons, big backpack. You look like you're ready for a special operation. Okay, so with that understood, we're getting lots of normals. So click it on your character sheet so that you know that, and then we'll keep track of that as we go. Okay, so we now have our loadouts, I assume, for everyone. Does anyone have a heavy loadout?
Yes.
Okay, so that can sometimes cause problems for different maneuvers, and I'll keep that in mind. So we are ready for the engagement roll. You get 1d6 just for luck. Okay? And then we say, is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Oh, I think it's pretty bold.
Yeah.
That's pretty daring.
Oh,
Okay? So you
say
have
daring.
you have 2d6. Okay? Is this operation overtly complex or contingent on many factors?
Not really, no.
Okay? So there's no does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Yes.
Hopefully, yes, with all the study and research we've done in advance.
Yep.
And knowing that he's not going to be there when we go in.
Yeah. We know he's not going to be there, and
we've
coming
sought
in
out
through
the
the-
best
Okay. So
time
you're at 3 dice. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have a particular defense or special preparations?
we hope not.
Yeah, we wouldn't know. I mean, I would expect them to leave a small detail of security, but
Okay.
he would take most of it with him because he's a prick. I mean, he's a lord.
So I'm actually going to take a die from you on that. So you're at 2 dice. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? So
yes.
Okay, which
I've got an
Okay.
So I've got an apocryphy.
Okay.
Who's going to be quite useful when it comes to drugging.
Oh.
But
okay.
I'd also like to say, I don't know if this is the right place to do it, but I'd like to use our base of operations to prepare some explosives as well.
Yeah, you missed out on that. That would have been something to do in your downtime to acquire an asset. So,
okay.
However, you can do that in a flashback.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So remember that for when you want to do it.
I will be doing it, whatever happens.
Okay.
So I don't know whether or not, if I've done it in the past, that will help us with a roll here.
So I'm not going to give you the dice for the friends or contacts because I'm a dick. You're at 2 dice. Are there any other elements you want to consider? Okay. Yeah, I do. Oh my. Guys, I really hate to tell you this. You're going to lose another die because this guy is a much, much higher tier than you guys, who are at tier 0. So what that means is I need 1 die rolled to establish your position at the beginning of this.
Can I just thinking about contacts? Can I use my blue coat contact?
Okay.
Starmore?
Give me a good reason. I'll be happy to consider. How are they helping with this? Are they giving you maybe some information on when blue coats would be around the area? Are they
Yeah.
okay? Fair enough.
A patrol schedule.
Okay, then with that understanding, we'll give you 2 dice. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Just 2d6, yeah.
Yes, sir. And
We all roll.
nope, just 1. So you have to figure out who.
How do I do that? No, it's not. You don't just type it.
Just roll 2d6. Just use the
I'll
d20.
do that. There we go.
Can we not all roll in there? So you can
Oh, look at this.
I should not have rolled that.
Guess what,
Shouldn't
guys?
let someone else do it.
We start in a we start in a desperate position. So
Yay!
this is less optimal than I would have liked. So go ahead, Felix, and then I'll describe what's going on.
So if we're in that is a desperate situation for all of us, yeah?
Yes.
So if we're successful, that means in our downtime we've been successful in a risky.
No, actually, sadly, it doesn't, because this is just the engagement roll. But
Okay.
so that's a good call. You're trying to play that as best you can. So a couple of bad things have happened. The coal chute is, so if you think of this thing as standalone, there are alleys on either side. There's the canal behind it. And are you okay, John? Is John here?
I don't know. He's on mute.
He's mute. He's
Okay.
off mute.
Yeah.
Okay. I just saw your note, John. If you feel terrible, let us know. You can always back out of this, and we'll carry on. But
Okay, no worries.
okay.
Cheers.
Are you out?
No, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. I understand. So it'd be your normal brooding self. It'll be like you're ill. So if you got alleys on either side, you've got the main street in front, you've got the water behind, you've got the tram runs along the waterfront, and there's an overhang off the back where that tram pulls up on the 3rd floor, and then the attic is sort of above that. It's stone and then half timber above with a sloping roof. Lots of windows on the ground floor, several bay windows towards the street. If you were facing the building, on the right side is where that coal chute is. Slightly wider alley, probably would have let the colliers move through and drop the coal in there. So your group has stealthily moved into this location, maybe even from different locations. And you see that there are quite a few lights on inside the building. In fact, maybe more than you've seen on some nights. And you see that the information given about the blue coats was wrong. Maybe it was good information as far as the ground-based blue coats, but there is a blue coat barge that is slowly moving up the canal behind this house and is playing their spotlight onto the building and into the mouth of the alley where you guys are. What do you guys do? And let's start with Wrecker, because that could be the most exciting.
Okay, so I just want to ask a question.
Please do.
Do we know where our rescuee is inhabiting?
You've
We have
had
an idea.
you have had the questions asked, and some information was given, and there is a guess, I think, where it is, but
A new guest.
Okay,
on
so-
the floor was our.
So what I want to work out is if we were to take out the pillar, is it likely to affect her?
There's a good chance.
Would it be a distraction? And also would it take out the coal scuttle area?
so the building itself extends over the water about a third, okay, and that portion and maybe more would be destabilized by that pillar.
It doesn't sound like that's where the coal goes in over the water.
No, but who knows? That whole area might collapse. You're not quite sure.
Yeah. All we know is that there is a new guest and they're on the top floor.
Okay,
Now,
we're moving.
The top floor does extend out over the water as well, so there's a chance that they could end up in that section.
So I'm give you about 20 seconds to have a discussion, and then one of you
Okay, so
guys needs to
Given
lead in.
our desperate
So can we-
position, it's probably a very good chance that they're in that.
Okay, so what I was saying is if we take the pillar out, we do it afterwards rather than before as a
Okay.
distraction.
So your 20 seconds is
Would you
over.
agree- would
One
you
of you
agree?
guys need to
Is-
give me
Yeah.
the roll. This is what's so mean about this game. Okay, the lights coming your direction. One of you needs to take charge and make a roll and tell me what you're doing to carry everyone with you and in. Mara,
Okay,
do
so-
it.
Mara.
Yep.
I'm looking. Are there any? I'm looking around. Are there any ghosts?
Oh yeah,
Anything around in this alley?
there
anything
are.
that I can pull on,
You
call
see you see one that looks like a flying snake. You see like a Quetzalcoatl weird thing. You see a collier, and you actually can see the old horse-drawn, because a lot of horses left still back then, carriage, and with the ghostly shape of that old carriage and colliers that are going through a loop routine of putting coal down into the chute.
Okay. I'm looking to the snake.
Okay.
Ghost, actually. I'm going to try and try and
Attune?
Possess?
not tune as such. Hang on, sorry, I've not got my sheet.
Okay. No, whatever you want.
I am going to basically compel. I'm going to try and compel this snake.
Okay.
I'm going to try and get it to travel out to the third of the building that's over the water.
Okay.
And where this
Ship is?
And I'm basically asking it to create a huge amount of ruckus. I want it to splash around, create a huge amount of noise, distraction, draw the attention, draw the lights to that area and away from where we are, so that we can basically try and get.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's make this roll. Is anyone able to help in any way?
How can we help you?
I don't know. This would be pretty dang hard because this is pretty.
I have no, I don't think so.
So,
No, I
do you
can't
want to
think of
push yourself?
I'm definitely going to push myself.
Okay.
I might be able to help.
Okay. Let's hear.
Okay, so I'm thinking, said it. Okay, she's the size of a frigging tiger, right?
Yep. Well, more like a Labrador, but that's good.
Okay, Labrador. Okay, so I'm thinking water. This will teach her for. I'm going to tell her to go and splash about in the water, away from where we are, and I give her a mental location,
Okay.
so that it kind of takes the spotlights away from the alleyway. She's
So-
going to. Can she use my prowl roll to?
No, what you're going to
go-
do is you're gonna give a dice to Mara's distraction. Okay.
Okay.
And as
Yeah.
you see Set It run off, you notice something about her. Her tail sort of widens. It's like it sort of gets flat and is wider. And you wonder if there is some sort of swimming thing that she's not told you about. But when she dives off into the water, it's silent. I mean, you hear
Yep.
bloop, and that's about it. And she
Yeah.
heads off towards where the piling is, holding up part of the house. And Mara, let's see this roll.
Okay, so it's desperate, yes.
Yes, let's make it desperate, because if not, you are caught
Yeah.
with this
Well,
light. And it's going to be standard effect, though.
Standard effect.
And
Okay.
please mark down that this is a desperate. Keep track of that.
Do that in
Yeah,
a
we'll
second.
do in a second. Yep. And,
And-
I've got a bonus dice from the fact that I'm pushing myself.
Yep, and you have a dice
And-
from Rob.
And a dice. Okay.
Ooh. What's going to happen? Oh, we got a 5. So a success, but with a complication. Okay. So the light turns away immediately from where you guys are at to the churning, splashing, fluttering that's going on near the piling. You see that the Blue Coat boat comes to a dead stop directly across from you guys. And the light is pointed at the water where Set It is splashing around. Okay. What do you guys do?
I'm going to check the door to the coal chute and pick the lock.
'Kay.
Disarm any.
It's locked. It has a pretty fine padlock on it.
Okay. I have the infiltrator special ability.
Oh.
Are not affected by quality or tier when you bypass security measures.
That's very important because this was very high tier. I was really looking forward to to springing that upon you when you tried to make your roll, but I will not. So instead, let us see how you get through this roll. I assume it's a tinker, but I'm not going to assume too much.
Yep. I guess it's a tinker roll.
Can anyone help? Do you want to push?
Yes.
I can help.
Okay, I'm hearing some help coming in.
Yeah, I can help by giving him some lockpicks from my burglary gear.
I already have a set of fine lockpicks, so I'll be using
Ooh.
those.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the help that you're after.
I know.
I can
But
give him advice because I scored 2 in Tinker.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so what we'll do with the two of you guys helping is I'm actually going to give 1 die out of that, but that's a good help. And are you pushing?
No.
Okay, then let's see this roll.
We need to increase our stress one way or the other though, so could be worth it.
So, what position are we
You
in?
are in a right now.
It's pretty desperate.
If you draw attention to yourselves, it
Yeah.
will become desperate rapidly. So you are desperate position,
Okay.
and you are with a standard effect. You will remove the lock if you succeed,
Okay, so
and keep track of your desperates.
Yep. I think you just immediately check the thing on the attribute, don't you?
No,
There you
you don't.
No.
Well, that's what it says at the bottom of the sheet.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, if so, then you do it now, and we just don't do it when we do that upgrade later. So that's fine by me. That's fine. Okay.
Well, you know, but, I've got
No. Don't ask me
Wow.
to roll for anything tonight.
Woo.
I am
Ladies and gentlemen.
rubbish.
Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So as we see here, we have a 1, 2, 3 roll, which is not optimal in any way, shape, or form. Two things happen at once. One,
Oh no.
you hear a put sound, and there is a spout of fire off the front of the ship towards where Set It is in the water. And then you also pump, a light pops on and highlights all of you in the alleyway. What do you guys do?
Is there anything in the alley that's heavy, or that's
There's
like
a rain
rock or
barrel
something?
that's about half full of water.
Is there cover? Can we dive behind some cover?
Let's make a luck roll. Roll a die at 1, 2, 3. There's no cover. Anything above, you guys might find a place to hide.
Someone else roll it.
Are we rolling?
Single
D6.
D6. Yep.
Oh.
There's enough crap.
Yay!
There's enough crap that you guys. Oh no, there's not. No, it's joking. So there's some tarpaulins over something. You're not sure exactly what it is on the far side of the alley. There's the big rain barrels I talked about. There are a couple of those. There's actually an old cart, like a hand cart, that's right on the far side of the coal chute, and you can see that there's also a dumpster of some sort that's actually, it looks like a steam-driven dumpster that would sort of like shuttle the thing from the edge of the house out towards the water where it would dump to a barge of some sort. So those are the type of things you guys have to hide behind.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to scoop up one of the barrels. I'm going to hurl it at the
light,
at the folks who are shining the light at us. The
Very
idea is
good.
to hurl it right at the light.
Wonderful. I love it. Make that roll. Can anyone help him in any way, shape, or form? Do you want to take a devil's bargain? Is there anything that you'd like to do to take?
Of course, I'm going to take a devil's bargain at this point.
Okay, at this point,
Let's maximise everything we possibly can, shall we?
Okay. If you do this during the action, some of those bullets are going to find Set It, and Set It's going to take a wound of some sort. But you will put out the light and gain yourselves a couple of seconds. Though there will be, interest in this area where the light was taken out.
So, okay, so the devil's bargain is that Set It's going to get the annoying cat thing is going to get shot at.
Yep. And you get an extra dice.
I see no downside in this at all.
No downside. Very good.
None whatsoever.
Okay. Remember that, Rob.
It's all right, because I've got my long rifle out.
Is this risky, controlled, desperate, or?
We're in desperate times here. Desperate and standard effect. Things have gone sideways in a hurry. Oh, there it is. So the 6 is perfect. So what happens with that is you whack exactly in the center of that light, just taking it off. You guys are completely in the dark, and there's a couple of wet blue coats who got all the water on them, and you distracted the gunners enough that Set It only takes a level 1 wound. And if you'll keep that somehow for yourself, Bugs, because you might want to have to heal her later. But she got scored on the side. You can write down as the level 1 wound.
All right. Given that bunch of mealy mouths blathering and fiddle-arsing around with this lock, I turn and I grab hold of it and I give it the biggest tug that I possibly can. No guarantees, but I'm trying to wrench it off.
Okay. And what are you going to
Again,
use for that roll?
this is me maximising my my strength and using my
Okay.
brute force. Just
what we're going to say with that is that's automatic. I'm not going to make any rolls. Your amazing strength and that particular skill. There's a loud bang, and you have ripped that thing right off. Door, lock, you got it. And the strange crossbow type trap that was underneath shoots off over your shoulder into the sky. Okay? What do you guys do?
Go
Get in the hole.
Okay, so I assume you guys are.
Set it back.
You're calling set it back? Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so set it will catch up with you shortly. So you guys are now sliding into the coal chute and down into the basement. Who goes first?
I can.
Okay, so set it. You jump first. Who's the second?
Okay.
Twitch.
Okay, is that Wrecker?
Yep.
Okay, followed by
Twitch.
Followed by
Mara.
and then Brute. Okay. You guys are you're not dumb. You're not incompetent. It's zip, zip, zip down that coal chute, and you can see, John, as you are jumping in, a secondary light is being shined down. Okay.
Right.
It may or may not have caught your outline as you zoom down into the chute, but it will definitely
If it goes up one.
it will definitely catch that. And so what I'm going to do with this entire thing, like you just said, is we're going to establish a separate clock to there we go. And this one's going to be boy, we got lots of clocks going that are different things. This one right here that I don't have a name to is the blue coats chase you into the house. Okay. And that one will fill up fairly rapidly. Probably. Maybe. Who knows?
Okay. So I think we need to. There's two things. We need to find the bathroom.
Wow, you really need to go.
Yeah,
you should have gone before you left.
Yeah, but we need to find the shampoo basically. And I'd also like.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to keep an eye out. I'd also like to keep an eye out. This column that's holding up the end of the house.
Yep.
I want to know whether or not there are any structural walls. There's going to be structural walls above it.
Yes.
Or whether or not it's one continuous column that just goes all the way up to the ceiling, up to the roof.
Ah, inside of the building. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I want to find out where the structural walls are directly above that column, or whether or not it's just a continuous internal thing.
If there's a chance for you to see that, I will try and highlight that, and do remind me as you're in those locations. Okay.
Yeah.
So you are in a basement. What was at one point the coal chutes, and where the coal came in, and where there was a furnace, now is a maze of pipes. You can see that there is a vat of electroplasm that's sealed over, that is serving now as the source of power to heat and power this house. There are conduits that are moving up the walls in various different directions. It's about 30 by 40 feet in size, and you guys have come down and on the side towards the street. It's longer, and it's longer from the street to the water than it is from the front street to the water than it is from where you came in to the other side. So 40 by 30, and there are various dials. There's hissing of steam in certain places where it's pushing things through. And there is a startled man standing by the chute right as the first person said it stumbles out.
I cosh him.
Okay, what do you do?
I cosh him.
Okay, what do you roll?
Prowl.
Okay.
Backstab, throat cutting, blackjack. I want
Are
to,
you
cosh him.
going to kill this guy?
No, I'm going to cosh him. I'm going to knock him unconscious.
Very good.
So as I come down and I see him, I twist my my descent on the coal chute, and then I kind of jump just at the last second, whilst I've twisted my my body so that when I jump, I go over towards him.
Okay.
And then when I land, I'm basically going to pistol whip him right at the back of the ear.
Okay. So make the
Okay.
roll. And do you want to push yourself?
Is it? Might as well. Risky. Control?
Yeah, it's risky, and you'll get a standard effect. And what we'll say is, I don't think anyone can help you because you're on your own falling into here. I'll just do that.
Okay.
Speed things up.
So bonus dice. I'll add one bonus dice. So that's one stress, is it?
No. It's 2. I don't remember.
Two
I'll have to
stress.
pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it is 2 stress to get the extra dice. And there's the 6
Nice.
we wanted. You, with grace and aplomb, do a little shoulder roll and up and whack right in the back of the neck where it meets the skull, and he drops like a sack. And the rest of the folks come down behind you with no problem. All right. What do you do?
Okay. Go over to the door.
Okay.
Have a listen.
So there is a large oak door with an iron ring at the top of a set of stone stairs, and you guys don't hear anything behind that as you guys are moving forward. I'm going to sort of assume you're in the same rough marching order you said from going down the chute as we move forward into this this building. So you're now.
I have a question.
Please.
Is it so? A lot of old buildings used to have like a sort of like a dumb waiter for carrying coal up to other floors, where the servants could, rather than track the coal through all the carpets and things like that. Is there like an old one of those in here, or
So
is it blocked
what I'll
up?
do is, what I want you to do, Pete, is roll me 1d6, and I'll see if it ends on this floor
No.
or if it ends on the floor above, which is the kitchen.
Okay.
Okay, it's on the kitchen floor, so it's not down here.
Okay.
Okay,
That's it. That's
fair
my
enough.
question.
So
And before we
yes?
leave this area, I'm going to say to Brute, can we block this door in some way to stop the bluecoats coming after us?
there's a thought.
Can he block the end of the coal chute?
Yeah. The doors we've come down, the chute we've come down.
Right. Is there any fairly heavy bits of furniture?
What I'll say is, on what was the old furnace, there are some metal doors. There are 2 metal doors you could probably shove into that tube and form a bit of a barrier if you rip them off.
That's what we'll do then.
Okay,
Need a
so
roll?
you, I'm not going to make
Said it come.
no roll. Oh, set it. Yes, set it now is there. Just now.
Okay, so said it kind of like slides down just as Brute wedges something in, and
Yep.
that does a little yelp as
Oh, yeah.
because it is really that close.
And you see that the blood from Set It is a sappy white color from where her
She's
side
been
was
feeding
scored.
you shit. She's been feeding you shit. You deserve that. You're getting large, Missy.
Okay, so you're at the top. You're at the top of the stairs. Doors there. There's no lock, just an iron ring handle. You guys gonna open that baby?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see you're into a ground floor that has numerous rooms and corridors. You can see though that the area you're in is just below what was the large kitchens. And you can see that there are ovens, there's a broad open island area for work. There are numerous brass pots that are hanging from the ceiling, and you can also see knife blocks with giant sets of knives. There is something bubbling away that's hanging over a fire. Actually, it's not a fire. It's a electroplasm furnace that is keeping something at a steeping level of heat. And the smell is probably a porridgey breakfast thing for tomorrow that is going slowly. And
Can
you
Wreck-It piss in it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wrecker?
So, sorry, I missed that. I was just dealing with a small issue.
So to speak. Actually,
Maybe on the way back.
that's
Maybe on the way back.
Literally, last minute, I just got caught out with something.
No, that's
Sorry.
exactly what we were talking about. Was your small issue? But anyway,
I hope not.
you do see the dumbwaiter.
Okay. I'm gonna ask a question of said it. Can she smell Valeris?
So you guys see Rob's character said it. Whisper this down to this feline thing, who raises her nose and sniffs at the air, and just sort of looks at him, and just gives him a flat look, like you take that as no.
Get your mind out of the kitchen.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So second floor, yeah.
okay. So who goes first? Because this is only going to be able to carry 2 people or a person and a cat at a time.
I think Twitch will go first as a stealthy infiltrator.
Very good.
So, does it only go up 1 floor, or does it go all the way to the top floor?
So you're not quite sure. As you pull yourself up, who is going? Is anyone going with you?
I think, yeah.
Who?
Well, who wants to come with me?
I'll go.
Okay. So Twitch and Mara, you move yourselves upwards to the next floor, and you can see light around the edge of the dumbwaiter door that would swing wide open if you just barely pushed on it. And you think you're in an area that would be like living and hosting, and possibly there's some rooms for having guests over. You're not sure just from that just the feel of it and what you're feeling.
Okay, can we go up again?
Yes, you may. So to the 3rd floor, you think, sort of peeking out from the cracks and all that, there's corridors with doors off of them. This is definitely a nothing but bedroom area.
Okay, we'll get out of the.
Okay.
Assuming the corridors are empty, we'll get out
And this was the highest floor as far as you knew. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you guys are lowering it back down. Who are the next 2 coming up? As I'll move back and forth in the discussion.
I'll go up.
I'm sorry?
I'll go up.
Okay.
I'm not sure who else is left.
There's
Yes.
Said It, and then there's Said It, and then there's Brute.
Me and Said it will go up then.
Say
Yeah,
it,
I'll send a cat up with instructions to sniff out Valeris. I mean, said it knows her smell. She's our friend.
Very good.
Okay,
Very
and I'll
good.
tell Wreck-It that when she catches Valeris' scent, she'll use the nose.
Very good.
Ah,
Okay.
Okay.
Does anyone
So
want to
the other
go
thing
up with Set It?
Yeah, Wreck-It was.
Wreck It. Okay.
Can we get a third as well?
With what? I'm sorry?
Can we get a third as well?
No.
no.
Okay. Because it's
So,
a cat. That's what.
well, it's a Labrador sized cat.
Yeah,
So,
it's space.
yep. So pretty
It's a big
much
cat.
it's a big cat. So up you go, zip, zip, zip. And those up at the top, do you want to do anything before the second set arrives?
Yeah, I think we ought to put out lights and create shadow, an area that we can hide in.
Good idea.
Okay.
So,
So there are electroplasm lamps running down the hall. And you can see that there is a switch, a simple switch near where the stairs come up that would probably turn off all the lights down the hall.
Okay, I'll go and turn that off.
Okay, so the corridor is now plunged into darkness. And clunk, clunk, the door opens behind you, and out steps Wrecker and the feline Set It. And it starts heading back down for the last two. Okay, so you've set the lights. Is there anything else you'd like to do before the last two arrive?
I'd like to have a look at Set It and just see what injuries it's got.
Okay, so it looks like Set It has taken a bullet that is scored across her ribs, and you can see that the flesh is puckered up nastily from the polluted canal water, as well as she's still draining that white blood.
Okay, so for a number of different reasons, including helping Set It and not wanting to leave a trail of white
Yep.
stuff all the way
Yep.
around this Duke's house, even though that might not be uncommon. I'd like to try and dress it maybe with a bandage or something.
Okay, so do you have anything that you could use off of your character sheet for that?
Well, there's two. I've got Physica ability, but I'm not sure how well that works with a.
Oh, come now. We
magic
all
art
know that that's
party.
all. We all know that's all the same.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, basically, a bandage is a bandage. It's not like. I'll know how. I'll kind of know that I shouldn't be compressing the rib cage and impairing it.
Yeah,
breathing,
absolutely.
But I do want to put a proper bandage on it.
So what I'll say is,
and in my my loadout, I'm going to have something to help with that.
Okay. So what I'll say is, for alchemicals, if you'll put one in there, I'll let you put a soothing balm or something into your alchemicals. So, okay.
Okay.
And so that idea there is you'll just take one load for that. Okay.
I'll take a load for that. After alchemicals, there's a number 3 in brackets. So I'm guessing I'm allowed to have 3.
Yes, you are.
Use one of them.
Yes, you are.
So now am I down to 2, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that you push that sticky paste onto the wound, and it stops the bleeding. Very good. And do Mara or Twitch have anything they'd like to do before the door is open for the next set?
Nope.
Okay.
Low and hunkered down, waiting for the.
Okay. The door opens again, quietly, and out steps the last two of your team. All of you are now upstairs, and you can see that down the hall, there's probably to your right, there are windows which you think are facing towards the water. And to your left, there are doors, and there's actually a short hallway, and then there's another couple of doors and another short hallway. At the far end, you see a barred door. Halfway down, there is a open door, and you can hear talking.
Is there a light coming from that open door?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Does Said It have a scent?
No, she's fearless.
So, Rob, the impression you get is that directly ahead is the source of the smell that you're looking for.
Towards the barred door.
Yes.
And past the open door.
And past the open door.
Okay.
Okay. Brute.
Well, Twitch is going to
Shall we?
Wait. Why don't you guys just have a quick little talk before you make your next move?
Yeah.
It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Brute. You and I, shall we go and dance with two voices?
No problem. Only two. It's almost unfair.
Well, I was thinking you could take them and I'll watch.
So deep breath before you guys do that.
Take them out.
Everybody else have a quick discussion on that. I'm stepping away from my microphone for just 1 second to pour a drink, and you guys make your decision during this time. It's life or death.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is if Rekka, Twitch, and Mara all go and do something with the barred door, myself and Brute basically occupy said open room. Yeah.
The issue we've got here is if we kill anyone, we could draw more attention to our place. And if we
Subdue,
don't,
not kill.
subdue them.
So this is an exciting point.
Don't kill anyone.
Those of you that
Killing
can,
people is a bad idea.
Yep. Those of you that can turn on your camera, because I want to see your expressions and all this, because it should be interesting. So you hear the voices down the hall. You can tell that one is Lord Delvar from the things you have overheard. You're not sure who the other one is. But I will remind you, you know what he is supposed to be doing tonight. I'll leave it at that, and then see what you guys do.
So inside the room is Lord Delvar.
We've been set up.
And someone else.
Or
Lord Skurlock.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
They're having a meeting here.
They happen to be meeting here instead of somewhere else. That sucks. Maybe your initial setup role puts you in a desperate situation. Anyway,
you people are really, really terrible at getting the intelligence we need. I do not know why it is I have to keep dragging you out the mire. I've done it once tonight. It looks like it's going to be a second go.
Obviously, the Brute
you already
is...
know I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. The Brute is grumpy.
You lot can keep cover. Get it done, and I'll get this done.
Whoa. So John, do you understand that that Lord Skurlock is a faction to himself? So he's a third. And at least in your own mind, that's the important.
By the way, John is doing a great impression of Holly from Red Dwarf at the moment.
Okay, so here's where we say, what do you guys do? And
Everybody's dead then.
what I'll do is I'm going to work just side to side because in this game there's not really a initiative order. We just sort of work through it as people talk and say what they're doing. Is there someone that feels super strongly that they need to do what they're doing first?
Yeah, me.
Okay.
I'm going to walk down the corridor.
Oh, okay.
Turn right into the room with the open door, and all the rest of them here is the door closed, clunk behind, and they better get their asses into gear as that door closes.
So
and
we're
all
gonna
I hear is, "Good evening, gentlemen."
Okay, so we'll stop for the brute, and we move to the rest of you, because some of you may have expected his maneuver, like said it. Some of you may be shocked by his maneuver and the audacity thereof. However, what do you guys do?
Hey, he's doing his thing, so it's time for
No, don't hesitate. Get on with it, for goodness'
Mhm.
sake.
exactly. It's time for Twitch to do
His
his
Twitch
bit.
thing.
So Twitch is pegging it down that corridor.
Like lightning.
Yeah, to the bar door.
Mara,
And
what about you?
I'm basically paying it to the top of the stairs, where
Okay.
any attack will hopefully come from. If
Very
there is
good.
anything coming our way, and I'm basically going to pick up any vases, anything I think I can throw down at them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me
use
a
ammunition to roll
roll me a luck die. Just 1d6. 1, 2, 3. You don't find anything heavy. 4, 5, 6. You find a heavy vase. Yep, you got a big old freaking vase, and it's actually got some soil in it. It's heavy.
Lovely.
Okay, so you're carrying it crossbody. You're at the top of the stairs.
Perfect. And
Felix,
I'm
Wrecker, what do you do?
ready to.
We're going. Well, I know that Pete's going off to look at the bar door.
Yep.
And I think that's probably the first place to go.
Okay.
So I'm going to help him with tinkering.
Brilliant. So you sprint down to help. Set it and set it. What do you do?
We're going to charge down there and just barrel straight in through the door.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then is
sorry, which door?
The bar
door.
door.
Okay.
Oh, you're just going to run at the bar door.
So
Yeah.
what is your attempted roll
Actually,
on that?
sorry, can I rephrase that? What's the walls like either side of the? Is it brick?
Yeah. Well, it's stone.
Brick.
They're larger squares of stone, and the
Okay.
door
in that case,
is
yeah,
stout.
Yeah,
It looks stout.
it looks stout.
Yeah.
We don't want to be. We were trying to do this subtly, because otherwise he'll know.
I
He'll
think
know we've been out shampoo.
subtlety has gone out the window with Lord Delvar and the brute.
Yes, but if he
And
knows
Lord
that we were
Scarlet.
going for the bathroom, he might look there.
Okay. I'm not going to barrel into the door if I know that it's a stout door, because even my petite frame's not going to be able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
So in which case, I'm fuck it. I'm going to get me my long rifle out and my double pistols, and
Okay.
I'm going to position myself in the corridor.
Okay. You're protecting those that are working on the door.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. So here's a couple of things that are going to happen. First off, let's move to the brute and deal with his particular event. So you step around the corner, and you can see that this is a fairly sumptuous room. It's actually probably 30 by 30. There are couches around it. It's like a minor receiving hall, but on the top floor. And in the center is a round table On one side, you can see Lord Delvar. You've seen him before. But the other side is a hulking man in a flowing black robe that is, it almost where it touches the floor, it looks like smoke. Instead of like it's actually touching the floor, it sort of just curls and wisps away. And he's very pale, and he's got a monstrous sword at his side. And when you step in and shut the door, you can feel a temperature drop of maybe 1 or 2 Fahrenheit or 1.5 Celsius in temperature, just immediately. The door slams shut behind you as you intended, and both of them stand and turn towards you and pull.
Oh no, sorry, I don't slam it. I literally walk in and I close it gently behind me.
Gently, clunk. Okay,
yeah,
I like that.
But they both hear me. And
they
both
yes,
see me.
And they both stand. And it's interesting that Lord Delvar is the one who pulls his rapier. Lord Skurlock simply stands and tilts his head and looks at you with these pale eyes with red irises. And there's a second for you to decide what you do.
Maybe we might be related.
Now, John, this can be dialogue, but it is an action. So you can figure out what action it is you're doing, and we'll give some dialogue to it, and then let's make the roll. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to do a persuady type thing? What is it you're trying to do? Is it are you trying to command, consort, sway? Are you trying
I consider it exceedingly unlikely that I'm going to be able to beat the living snot out of these two blokes.
It's going to be a pretty really bad.
Given what I know about them and given the two of them together, I doubt that a fist fight is going to go well.
Probably not.
The whole point here is to slow them down.
Fair enough.
It's to have the two of them taken off guard.
So the
and it's to obfuscate what my companions are doing just
Very
down
good.
the corridor.
So the
idea here is not to get into a fist fight. It's to try and avoid that for as long as physically possible. And if it comes down to it, and there starts to be a fist fight, and I think it's not been long enough, I'll stand my ground if I need to.
Okay.
But if it's long enough, I'm going to bail out the window. I'm jumping out the window anyway. I've already decided what the outcome is going to be.
Okay.
The whole point here is to bluff.
So
the whole point here is to hold them off guard, set them into a different space. Okay. I know a little bit about what they're up to this evening. Yeah.
So
I want to use that for a bit of exposition.
So the scary thing is the window is across the room from you, and there are no windows on either side and none behind you because that's the door. So the effect you're going for is a delay, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm trying to tie them up, and so this is all about bluffing.
Okay.
It's all about trying to get them.
So there is a
listen to my bullshit long enough that they don't pay attention to what else is going on in the house.
There is a palpable sense of dread, foreboding, and danger as Lord Skurlock's hand drifts down to the large saber at his side. And this is where we will make.
I am unarmed.
Oh, you have not taken an arm into your hand.
Nope. I am not carrying any weapons.
Wow.
So, I'm carrying a light load.
Note to self.
I was anticipating that any trouble, I can swing my fists.
Okay.
But I'm not carrying any weapons.
No pistols, nothing? Okay.
A pistol? No,
okay.
None of the formal weapons. This was all about being quiet and getting things done. So I'm not carrying any weapons.
His hand drifts to the handle, and you see his fingers delink, along the handle, but they don't settle on it. And there's a pause. What role are you going for?
Forgive my interruption.
Yes.
This is not a situation that I wanted to find myself in. I found things to be very difficult when it comes to getting hold of your lordships. There are many layers of people between where we stand today, right now, at this moment, and the situation that I have uncovered. I'm not the sort of person, as you can probably tell, to find it easy to persuade those who sit between you and the world. They look at me, of course, gentlemen, they look at me, and what do they think? He's a wrong 'un. He's a ragamuffin. But gentlemen, at this point I stand aside. Now, bear in mind, I'm not wearing a jacket or anything like that. Gentlemen, you see, I come here in peace. I carry no tools of the trade of those who would do harm. So I come here with my heart open, with my hands empty, and I come here to tell you of a great risk and a great danger and a great darkness that stalks this land, and indeed stalks the effort that you yourselves are putting in.
So there's a pause, but Lord Delvar's rapier waves towards you, and you see that Skurlock gives him a little sneer, and he lowers it. And Skurlock says, "What do you know of this danger?" And then he says, and you can feel a weird pressure, and I will give you a roll to avoid this. I don't care what it is. I think it's going to have to be sort of an attune type thing. But you can give me something else. You can think of it. You're being probed mentally.
Oh.
So I'm going to use. I actually have. There is a force of personality that sits behind me, and I'm going to push back. And I mean, I'm kind of assuming
fair enough.
that this is some kind of spiritual attack, and I'm going to basically say, mentally, I'm going to say, "Beast, be gone. Spirit, be gone."
And what are you doing?
I'm using command. I think I'm going to.
Okay, very
force
good.
it away.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Is this risky, controlled, desperate, or?
It's desperate, and it's limited. It's limited effect.
Okay. All right. Well, shit will bust.
Do you want to push? Hey, there's the 6. There's the 6 you needed. So you feel that there was a searching for your name. The limited effect, because this guy is so powerful, is he doesn't get your last name, but he does call you Volo. So, Volo.
That's me, sir. My reputation precedes me, I see. The fact that you've heard of me heartens it. You will know so much about me because of that. You will know that I am a man of my word, and I stand before you and give you the truth and the honesty at the time. Keep going, guys. Keep going, guys.
Yeah. So we're stopping here and jumping to the others. Okay. On the stairs, Mara, you hear some steps coming up from below. What do you do, Mara?
Am I seeing anybody?
Not yet. What would you like to do?
I'm going to prepare the vase, but I'm not going to. Nothing goes down until I see the.
Okay.
coming up. It could be a maid coming up,
Oh yeah.
but so until I see who it is, what it is, and what threat they pose me, I'm
So
standing prepared to push it down. But that's it.
rounding the corner is a maid carrying a tray with 2 tall crystal glasses of some sort of liqueur. And she
Okay.
sees you and goes, "Ah!" What do you do?
I'm crunched down behind the
Oh,
vase
you're
thing. So
you're
she's
hidden?
seen the vase at the top of the stairs, which probably looks odd to her that it's there.
Okay. Nope. So she does not see you. Okay. So are you going to let her go by?
Well, she's not. She's at the bottom of the stairs at the moment, isn't she?
Yeah,
she got
and
up
she's
to speed
no,
then?
she's coming up. So you have
Okay.
some time if
I'm
you
waiting for
want
her to
if
come up.
you want to sort of cede that to the folks on the other end of the corridor.
No, I'm not gonna pull them away from what they're doing. I'm waiting until she's basically at the top of the stairs, and then I shall try and jump out and grab her and grab what she's holding. Try and create as little noise as possible, but basically push her against the wall and
Okay.
close her down.
Okay. So we will do your roll in a minute just because she's coming up the stairs and it'll give you a second to get that all prepared. And think
Okay.
about what skill you're going to use. Meanwhile, at the far end of the room, we have Wrecker and Twitch in front of a very fine-looking clock. You know what I mean? A lock. Dang the words. So it is probably a level 4, level 5 prowess lock. Once again, we know that you can supersede that because of the special ability you have. This is something that no normal. You guys are a tier 0 group, right? There should be no way that you're able to open such an amazing lock, except for the fact that you have this special ability.
Okay, so I'm going to use Tinker.
Okay.
With fine lockpicks.
Very good.
I'm hoping I can get a bit of advice on this.
I will absolutely. We'll let Wrecker give the advice. Well done.
I'm going to push myself.
Okay.
So I think that is 3 bonus dice.
Very good. Yes, it is. Let's do it. Let's get that 6.
You got to take 2 stress.
Yep.
Yes.
Take 2 stress. So
you want to aim to get your stress at that 6.
That's it. It is what, a desperate roll? I'm guessing.
So actually it's not. It's just risky. The desperation is going on elsewhere. And it will be a standard effect. Knock this open. It'll open up. Oh, there it is. Perfect.
There.
Subtly, with the skill that is inherent in Twitch, you can watch his finger movements, Wrecker. They are so subtle and fine, except for the last couple that just are so rapid you can almost can't see it. And then the thing just goes click very quietly and pops open. The door is yours.
Okay, open the door.
Inside, you can see Valeris. She is wrapped in a snaky, silvery, spectral form.
Okay.
That implies Mara would be great help.
I'm going to say, yeah. Looking down the corridor at Mara, is she looking our way?
No.
Oh no, she is well focused down the stairs. Okay, let's have another couple of words. Rob, actually, is there anything that you and Seth are doing in your crouching and your moving and everything else before we move back to John to delay a little bit longer?
Yeah. Well, there's literally only one thing that I can do, really. So I know that Valaris is in this cocoon thing.
Yeah.
I think Mara is going to be the best person to do that. Have I seen the maid coming up the stairs?
No, because you're down
so
the other end.
Sedit. I'm going to instruct Sedit to go and basically nudge Mara out of her hiding place because we need, so pull on the hem skirts and things like that to get her attention.
Okay.
I'm covering the whole corridor with.
Okay, very, very good. So what we'll do on that is Sedit just moves like smoke down that corridor. And this corridor, we're talking like 50 yards, like 50 meters. So just like that fast. This thing is so fast when it stretches out and moves, but it's like smoke. And you are watching the maid is maybe halfway up the stairs when you get a tug on your dress, Maramoon. And you see that weird cat thing with a bandage on its side and stuff pulling at the hem of your black lace from your dress, from your, actually, I don't know what you're wearing, so I apologize.
My cloak.
Your cloak.
Yeah, I got trousers on. Trousers.
Very good.
Silky blouse. So, and a
perfect.
Cloak. Okay. So I'm going to quickly glance down the corridor towards my colleagues.
The door is open at the far end of the hall. You can see a specter wrapped around Valaris.
Okay. I'm keeping a close crouch, obviously, and hiding behind this book. I'm going to indicate to Sedit as my hands to take on the maid, and basically I shall off down the corridor to join my colleagues.
Okay, so I'll assume that you're moving down the corridor as rapid as you can. Sedit is taking over watching the maid, and I'll ask Rob a couple of things about the training of Sedit. Is she going to rip this lady's throat out, or is she going to, so think about that for when I ask this question in a minute. But right now, it's time for John to buy us another couple of seconds. And it's going to be a roll. So don't F this one up, brother. You might want to spend everything you can to get some.
I'm trying to find that 6.
Yeah.
The more dice you have, the more they knock each other out of being 6s.
Anthony, I've just whispered you.
I'm sorry. Where'd you do it? Okay.
Roll 20.
Okay.
I think that's important for you to know.
That is.
So.
Okay, so got it. So it's up to Mara to tell you what she said.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
So come on then, Brute.
Okay. So when we last.
We need more time. When we
were last shining these guys on in the most obscene possible fashion. When we left it, I was trying to convince them that I had some information.
Guys, I am well aware that we're right at the end of our time. So if you can give me 10-ish minutes more, we might be able to finish this. But if not, let's we can leave it in a horrible situation. It's up to you guys.
We're okay for 10 minutes.
John, Brute, Felix. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Okay.
So I keep my ear to the ground, and I heard that something big was being planned for the exhibition. What you have coming up?
Oh, they both react to that.
Right.
Even Lord Skurlock, who is impulse, you cannot usually make this guy have any reaction whatsoever. You can see a stiffening to his forearm and a throb of a vein across the hand that is tapping that sword.
And so I hear that there are plans afoot to cause you trouble as part of that process. Now, it's been tough. It's been difficult for me, but please, gentlemen, just allow me. And I reach into my pocket.
Both swords come out.
Okay. Reach into my, basically I'm wearing like a
Yep.
Like a can't think of the word, waistcoat.
Fair enough.
I reach inside my waistcoat and I put my hand up like this and I reach in and I pull out a document.
Okay.
Right now,
is this part of your load?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is part of my load.
I love this.
So before we
are we going to have a flashback?
Yes.
Oh.
So the flashback is to when we were when the rest of the crew was discussing the plans. I was incredibly quiet all the way through, just sat in the corner, but I was taking in everything that was going on, and I knew there was always going to be the possibility that we might have to perhaps convince a bluecoat to let us through somewhere, or maybe show something to a maid or something else. So while we were there, I was using some of my subterfuge supplies to create a document.
Very good.
And this document purports to be about somebody. It's basically a letter that was written by someone named H to someone named B. And again, these are just monikers. H writes to B. Okay. Dear B, and then this letter, and then it's just signed at the bottom H. And it's about how they are planning to disrupt the exhibition. So it has the word exhibition. And at one point it says, this exhibition shall remain nameless.
Oh, well done. Well done.
So it's in uppercase. And the letter details how the plans are in place, the equipment is in place, and they're now recruiting the right people to be able to bring things to the most satisfactory conclusion, and to see those who have opposed them for so long brought down in the most public way possible.
Okay.
And that's what the document says.
Okay.
And I pull this out and I say, excuse me, gentlemen, and I unfold.
So John, for that,
and I hold it up.
Here's what you're going to do.
In front of them.
You're going to take 2 stress, and then I'd like you to make a roll for me on that, on making that. And I will let you in your flashback have help from anyone of the team, but they will also take 2 stress.
Are you using resolve?
I think I have to use resolve.
Okay. Does anyone want to be part of creating this document in the past for 2 stress to give him an extra die?
I think this is going to have to be.
Yes, I'll help him. Yeah.
Okay, take 2 stress.
I'll help him as well.
Okay, take another.
Okay.
So you guys, and that's all I'll let you.
This is not my specialist area.
No,
but this is going to have to be a sway roll, I think.
But with Wrecker and with Set It, you guys have made a pretty good document. So you get 2 extra dice to this, John. Let's see what happens. This may stall him for a couple of minutes more, and then things are going to get really sideways.
Is this so? Can I push myself some more as well?
You may push yourself.
Devil's.
Well, you could do a devil's bargain instead, but none of the devil's bargains I'm going to offer you are going to be pleasant.
No. This is pushing myself. So I'm putting myself right out there.
So there's two more stress.
So that's 3
4.
extra dice or
So
4
you've
extra
got
dice?
you have 2 dice from Felix and Set It. You have a dice from Pushing Yourself.
Yep.
And then what was the other one from?
From me, no, I don't know. That's what I was saying.
Okay, so what are you
So
using?
this is something I'm not normally skilled in.
No. What are you? Okay, what is your skill with this?
I was going to say, well, okay.
What are you using?
You could use anything in Resolve, couldn't you? Have you got something in Resolve?
Resolve, using a tune command, consort, sway.
You want to use Sway?
Well, no, so I don't have any sway.
Do you have
Okay.
I don't have any
Do you have?
dots in sway.
consort?
But it kind of feels like I should roll sway.
But is it not something? But could it be a tinker? Or could it be a that you
Yeah.
built this thing? Could it be a?
It could be a tinker.
Okay.
Do you think? Oh yeah, because you built
No,
it.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Okay. So
Survey. It's going to be
Could it be
no.
study?
No, I've got a point in tinker.
okay.
I've got a point in tinker.
Finesse.
I'm a prowess guy, right? Skirmishing and wrecking.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Right?
It is what it is.
And my
Well,
resolve gives me command and consort as well, right? Those things. But it just feels like it should be a sway. Now you guys are like,
Okay.
going,
No.
No,
I love it. I love it. And
the sway roll is for when you use it. We're only rolling for how good the document is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is
So-
you're
so-
getting
so
dice
if-
on what to write from the other guys. That's those dice.
That's
The
a
tinker
console.
roll is for you to write it.
so John,
Yeah.
I don't
Finesse.
care. I don't care,
Yeah.
John, if this roll is about making of the document or how will you sell the document. I don't care.
okay. It's about how well we made the document then.
Very
Fair
good.
enough, it's a tinker roll. Because basically my entire story hinges
Absolutely.
on this
Oh, yeah.
absolute load of old
Yeah.
Todd.
Absolutely.
I wrote
I
while
love it. I
sitting
love
listening
it.
to these people.
One of the
I thought
best.
I was going to stuff in the nose of a blue
Yeah.
coat and just waft past
Yeah.
and get away with it. But I wasn't expecting two
Nope.
of the most powerful men in the city to be the one on the receiving end.
Yeah. Darn that engagement roll. Okay.
I think
Okay. So this is risky, right?
Oh, this is desperate.
Desperate. This desperate.
And
Not
it's
that
and
desperate, surely.
and bottom line, John, this is limited effect. So what's going to happen if you succeed? It will delay it shortly because things are going on behind you. They're going to screw it all up. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to roll my dice soon.
Okay. Oh, hey. You know what? 5 is a success. With
There's a
with
five in
a
there.
yeah, with a complication. So they pick up. So Skurlock grabs it out of your hand and is looking at it, and you see that Delvar is trying to lean over to see as well, and so he puts it on the table and spreads it out, and the two of them are staring at it, and as far as what I'm going to cause you for the 5 instead of 6 is the blue coats are coming closer to getting in. So we are now to 3. Sorry, I couldn't think of anything. I wasn't creative enough to make it, and so
It's a
I
group
go.
consequence, isn't it?
God,
at the
God
end of the
bless.
day?
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
God bless these clocks. They cover when you can't think of something. So
Yeah.
okay, so there you go. They're stalled. Everyone else gets something to do. So what's going to happen? So let's start with Twitch and Mara and Wrecker, who are looking at the room that has her in here, Valeris, and you see this snake-like. And by the way, Mara, this looks a lot like the spirit that you pushed down the down the alleyway and into the water to make noise. It looks a lot like that, but with big fangs, and it's like twice the size. And it's just moving in a constant Euclidean, never-ending figure 8. around her body. And she is held about 2 feet above the floor, suspended. Eyes wide open, looking around, aware of the horror of her situation, and unable to do anything about it.
Okay, I'm going to try and compel this thing to place her back onto the floor and to leave her and to leave the room. I'm going to try and push it out of the window, and
Okay.
I'm going to send it to its companion and its friend that is in trouble down at the bottom and is making so much noise and attention and trying to get help. And I'm going to send it to the aid of its friend.
I love that creativity. Taking the description of the description and putting them together and saying there's a 2 and 2 equals 4.
Your companion, your brother.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so sadly, none of your friends that I know of are probably going to be able to help.
Probably not.
I think Bugs just put up a possible.
Bugs? Where?
Have you seen Roll20?
So I'm not in the chat most of the time. Ghost Hunter. Oh.
Yeah, I clicked on the bell and because I wondered what it was actually doing, and now I know what the bell does.
Okay.
On the character sheet, but yeah. So I don't think said it can actually do much.
Okay.
Unless it can have a mind link with the supernatural, as well as with myself. I don't know.
Give me we'll just do it this way. Give me a luck roll. 1 through 3, you get that said it just manages to touch this thing, and 4, 5, 6. Okay, no, said it does not is not able to touch the this particular spirit. Okay. So
yeah, it's a snake. I mean, I think she's better with cats.
Well, scales and all that.
Corridor.
I'm sorry.
She's down the other end of the. Said it is down the other end of the corridor.
That is true.
Keep an eye on the maid.
That is absolutely true.
She's probably too far away to.
Okay. So, what is your role, Mara?
So, I'm going to be using my special ability, Compel.
Okay.
To try and force and direct this ghost to this snake.
Okay. We've already gone past our 10 minutes. I apologize. So you do this, and are you going to do a? Are you pushing yourself?
I'm definitely pushing myself.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to try. Can I use my spirit mask?
Absolutely. Why not?
Yep.
Your fine spirit mask.
My fine spirit mask.
Let's do it.
Sorry. Not open up
whoop.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Is this is desperate or is this?
Oh, it's desperate. At this point, we are desperate, and it will have. It's going to have standard effect. It'll do what you want it to do.
Okay. And so I'm gaining an extra dice from my pushing it.
And
1 from my spirit mask.
Yes.
Sure,
Perfect.
Yes.
Let's see it.
Okay.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
there is the 6. Double 6 we all needed. So, with a double 6, we're going to say that you can give this an extra command. Okay? Something that might really help you all escape. Think carefully, because you can tell this thing to do something crazy, because you have got a double 6. This is awesome.
Is there a window in this room?
It could pound in the room with John. You don't.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just telling you. You can do whatever you damn well
snakes and
please.
ladders.
You can do whatever you want with this thing because you are in complete control of what you want this thing to do.
Okay, so I am going to basically, as I say, ask it to return it to the ground, dive out through the window. I want it to then smash in through the window of the room that John's in.
Oh.
Swirl around the room fast, back out, and down to aid its companion there where I've sent it to help the...
I love it. So the spirit moves off of her body. She flops to the floor. Twitch, Wrecker, what do you do?
Okay, so is there
Set
a
it.
window in this room?
There is off the backside, third floor. It's off that back. Oh, you know what? It's onto that track of the seldom used cart that runs across the steam driven cart.
As in a
Rail track.
Below, so
it's a rail
jump,
track.
We can jump from the window onto
Absolutely, you could.
Okay. I'm opening the window.
Okay.
Well, it's smashed out already.
Boom. Okay. So what I'll do is if you and Wrecker and Set It want to move her out, we can get her out this window, and then we'll move to Brute and to Set It, who are a little bit further exposed.
Yeah. Can I lead this with Prowl?
Yes, you may. If your Prowl is better than everybody else's, you should lead it.
Yeah, so my Prowl is 3 at the moment.
Oh.
As is mine.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's... How do we...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter then.
If you want to take it, take it.
Well,
okay.
The thing is, it doesn't really matter because the other one can help and give another dice.
Absolutely. So what will happen?
Take the lead. My rolls have been rubbish tonight, so you take the lead. I
might as well have one run.
What we will do first is Pete, Christine, so Twitch and Mara, roll.
I'm having a little bit of a mare at the minute. For some reason, my character sheet's gone blank.
Oh, damn it.
So, hang on. I'm just going to refresh.
Just refresh it.
And so what I'm going to have Twitch and Mara do is each roll a Prowl. And if your Prowl is a success, Wrecker gets an extra dice.
Okay.
If your Prowl is a fail, he gets stress.
Okay, so I'm rolling my Prowl, yeah?
Yes, you are. Prowl.
Does it matter the position?
Is it risky? Is it...
This is just risky and it's standard effect. I'm a big standard effect guy. Oh, boom.
Oh.
Extra dice.
Cool.
And Mara, yours. Oh, stress. Take a stress, Felix.
Can't believe she stressed me out.
I stress everyone out.
Look at Pete. He barely has any hair left. Okay, go ahead.
This is what happened to me last time.
that was a brutal move. Okay, come on, Wrecker, make the roll.
Is
Get
this
him out.
risky or?
It's risky, and it's a standard effect. You'll get out onto the raised platform, and you can move across. There it is.
Hey. Ooh,
whoa!
Critical success.
Critical success.
And another part. And another pass.
So you guys move right out. You carry her. You're across onto that raised rail track and are moving rapidly away. Absolutely. And because of your double 6, I will say that Set It can get out too. And I will also say from the double 6 that Brute pushes his back to the door and pops into the hallway as this thing.
Hang on a second.
You want to do something else?
Can I have the thing smashes in the window and it all goes nuts?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So thing smashes in the window, everything goes bananas in the room, and I realise that this is almost certainly the doings of my companions.
Yep.
And I scream very loudly at the top of my lungs, "Gentlemen, they've discovered me. They've discovered the information I've passed to you. Save yourselves!" And I run out the room and slam the door behind
Well
me.
done. Well done. And the 6, the double 6 carries that. Now,
And then I see them running away, and I'm like,
okay.
straight after them.
So what I'm going to do, everybody else is out. And by the way, when I say out, we're like you're moving down this thing. You're going to move to a safe area and get away. The last roll of the game is going to be the brute doing the same piece through the window out to safety. And it's brutal and it's wrong to make you do it, John. But this is the last roll, and with this will be the score completed.
All right. The window that they opened in the room, and they went through and they climbed onto the track. I'm going to go out through that window. Yep. There's only one small problem with it.
Okay.
I'm a lot larger than any other.
Oh, yes, you are.
And that window isn't very big.
The whole point.
So I hit it doing probably roughly about 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Shoulder down, barge straight into it and blast it out.
Okay.
Everywhere.
The whole point you're doing this is to cover our tracks. That's why you're going the same way.
Yep. It's all good. He's getting out. This is Brute. You guys knew this is Brute following you. Okay, John, whatever role you want to do. And if you want to push, if you want to...
Did. Pushed it, and I failed.
Whoa. Okay. Whack. You hit that window. You're just too freaking broad. It bashes, it cracks, and you fall onto the tracks.
Okay.
And you can see down the hallway, Lord Skurlock has stepped into the hall, and his eyes go dink and lock with yours. And you roll off the edge. You take a second level damage of a fractured rib, and you all get away. Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay. Wow, guys. You got into a much higher level than you should ever have gotten into. You managed to elude and do some amazing things. I really thought John might die. I mean, I really thought he might die.
Yeah.
Mara,
Nice
your move with the spirit was absolutely important. And there were a couple of criticals that just made it critically successful. You guys succeeded. Wow. Your 0 level crew just pulled off a ridiculous heist and saved someone who is one of your team. And that's going to be really interesting as we move forward. Thank you so much for another fun evening. Sorry it went just a little bit long. And next time we'll start and we'll try and get moving rapidly, and we'll do your downtime for next time. Wonderful, love it. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys. Great evening.
Cheers. Thanks.
Brilliant.
Anthony.
Have a great evening.
Bye now.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.
Hey, wow, was that cool or what? They're a fun team. They're good to work with, and I just hope that you guys come and watch some more of their craziness in the future. Okay, bye.